Oh yeah, big holiday tomorrow in the States. It's Independence Day. That's where Will Smith punched the alien in 1996, I'm pretty sure.
That was the awesome movie in its time. Still pretty good to rewatch.
Agree.
Well, it's the first Independence Day with SuiTrump as the president of the Sui network too. Got to celebrate that.
Oh yeah, that's a good milestone. First
Team Coin Mobster joining us as well from his personal account. How's everyone doing?
Good, Pace. Hey, were you in Granville Island? I think I saw you. I didn't get over to the mainland. Are you still on the West Coast?
No, actually, I came back late last night.
Yeah, nice. You had a good time?
Yeah, it was a great time.
Cool. Yeah, Granville Island's pretty cool.
Hey, at least Paste has a little bit of that Canadian draw in his voice. I was disappointed in you, Denny. You wouldn't give me none of your Canadian voice. Paste, can you talk extra Canadian if you tried? Like, can you put more Canada on it if you want?
I definitely can. Where's you two there by?
You hoser, why don't you take off then?
I don't know if you guys saw that. I'm sure a lot of you did the Justin Trudeau video with Aquashock. That was the best one out of all of them. It was so funny.
Yeah, it was a little traumatizing to have to see Trudeau's face again, but it is good that he's going to make us the official currency of Canada, and he's going to come back and kick Carney out. So maybe he's not all that bad.
Yeah, I mean, makes me want to go to Canada if I could spend Aquashock at what's the store it mentions?
Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons, yeah.
Tim Hortons.
Right on.
How's everyone doing? Hello.
Oh, there you are, Richie. So you're on the Sui Dex account, okay?
That's right.
Are you rolling on YouTube?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, sweet.
All good.
So the networks and all the cryptocurrency has been going up. A lot of pro crypto news as far as regulations. Sui passed $3. Bitcoin almost touched 110,000. So markets are looking good.
Yeah, it's exciting. But it's like we keep getting to this stage and then everything tanks again, right?
Something always happens. Yeah, we're getting there.
It's going up and down.
What really needs to happen is the rate cuts. They need to get that Jerome Powell or whatever is out of there, so the next guy can actually cut the rates. That's the biggest, bullish symbol for crypto, as far as I've known for like years, is when the feds do the rate cuts.
Yeah.
So that's hopefully happening soon.
That'd be good. Yeah, trying to work with the Federal Reserve there. Those guys are always just so great.
Yeah, great guys. Amazing guys.
Totally.
So I'm even interested myself. What's the latest news on the hackathon?
Oh yeah,
details.
We're pretty much
that you're allowed to say so far.
Yeah, I just got sent the wallet to send them the cash to, and then that's going to be sent, and then that's us wrapped up for that. So it's pretty good. So I'll explain it. Let's explain it all. So we are going to do our audit and hackathon through a site called Hackenproof, who are a tier 1 auditor. We took a bit more time than expected to get to this point because we tried out we went through a bunch of audit companies basically. And Hackenproof are the actual Sui Foundation's recommended auditor as well, which is great. So we decided to go with Hackenproof because not only price-wise, because the reality is in crypto, if you want to go for a tier 1 auditor, Certic or OtterSec also would be one on Sui that's pretty popular. You would be looking between $40,000 to $120,000 for your audit is the standard price for tier one these days, which is obviously a lot of money. I don't really want to spend that much money on an audit before we launch, because that's gonna be well, like for example, if we paid 100,000 for the audit, that would be more than we spent for the entire build of the project. So I think the price of audits is getting to a point where it's becoming almost unbelievably ridiculous, right? So what we did was we started talking to Hackenproof about doing it in 2 stages, because they have this new idea for how to approach audits, which is called, basically it's kind of like crowdsourcing an audit, which there are a couple companies which are doing this now. So if you go to hackenproof.com, what you're going to see is that they have 2 sections. They have sections for hackathons. They also have sections for audit competitions, and then they also have audit section, right? So what we're going to do with Hackenproof is we are giving them $10,000, which will be the prize pool for our audit competition. The audit competition is going to be open to everyone who signed up to Hackenproof. We have decided to not add KYC to our competition, so you don't need KYC to join it. And from there, you're going to be able to see our open source code on Hackenproof. They're on their website, and start to essentially break through the code and find any vulnerabilities. We're going 100% security. Before I said I wanted to do I noticed Furley posted the old registration for the hackathon. That was when we were going to be doing it in-house.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you have a new post, because
man,
this one still says 5,000.
Not yet.
Because it's raised to 10,000 now, right?
Yeah, I literally just got the wallet address from Hackenproof to send the funds to right now. So once I pay them, then I'll make the announcements, because I'm an old-fashioned guy like that. Once they have our money in their wallet, then we'll start announcing how it's all going to go. So what you're going to be able to do probably later today. We want to start this on Monday, by the way, the audit competition. So Monday will be the beginning of the competition. What's going to happen is you're going to come to hackenproof.com. You're going to see SuiDex listed there as an audit competition with our prize pool. When you click on the SuiDex on Hackenproof, then you're going to find our focus area for the audit competition, and the open source GitHub, where you're going to be able to see all our code. We'll tell you what we want you to check for vulnerabilities, what kind of vulnerabilities will award you money. The prize pool is $10,000. I think we have set, let me find the exact specifics for this. We have set, I think it's $5,000 for severe vulnerabilities, and around about $3,000 to $4,000 for the criticals as well. So anything that's going to bring down the SuiDex or affect user funds, then we are going to be awarding substantial thousands of dollars to anyone who can find any vulnerabilities. We also have smaller prizes for gas optimization and kind of lower set ones as well. So that will all be on their website. Why have we done this? Because we want to launch not only with the visibility of a tier one audit company, because we're doing this through them, it means first we do the competition with them. It will probably attract between 50 to 500 different audit entities and people who are trying to win the competition money. Usually on their website, they're hitting about 100 to 200 participants per competition. So it means we get a substantial amount of people seeing and working through our core contracts. Then I think once we finish this competition, which will last for 3 weeks, we are already set for launch, because we have been battle tested by essentially the entire network of Hackenproof. After we launch, we will then do a full audit with Hackenproof as well, is the aim. But this is the route we're going to take. I might throw in another cheeky audit for one of the lower tier ones as well, while we're just doing the competition. I'm not yet decided on that. But so that's what's going to happen. So it's essentially killing 2 birds with 1 stone. We're going to be doing the audit competition, which will also make us 100% launch ready at the same time. So I wanted to try expedite this to make it as fast as possible. So this is the route I decided to take. Why Hackenproof? Like I said, they are the official Sui Foundation recommended auditor. Hackenproof will be tweeting and promoting SuiDex. They have already gotten in touch with the Sui Foundation and asked them about SuiDex and have you heard about SuiDex and what do you think about it? These kind of questions. So now the Sui Foundation are aware of our existence, which is also one of the benefits of lining up with a tier 1 auditor like Hackenproof.
Huge.
Yeah, it's great. So I'm very happy with it. And yeah, so Monday we will start the audit competition. So that's it. Ball's rolling. We're going. Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
And it's
Yeah.
and that's what makes them different is that it's crowdsourced, like you said, right? So you got 100 or 200 or more white hat hackers that are incentivized by these bounties, and they can find any exploits and fix them before everything's launched. That's pretty cool.
Exactly right. So it's like having an army of white hats who are all trying to break your code
Yeah,
at the same time, as opposed to usually when
even
you
if
audit.
you had the greatest egghead looking at your code, it's still just one set of eyes. If you had 200 super eggheads all looking at it from different angles, I think that's really valuable.
Yeah, and they get the prize money as well, so they're incentivized to work as hard as they can to try and break it, basically. Usually with the audits, they have 2 people usually that work on the audits, depending on, because the difference between like a tier 3 or to tier 1 would be, are they manually going through the code? We did have some great discussions and calls with other audit companies, but when it got down to the money wise, it was just, the cost was just way too high for how much if we were planning on doing an audit for 100,000, then we'd have to be really trying to be launching as large as something like, Cetus or even Binance Smart Chain or something, to launch as big as that. So there's no reason to spend that much money on an audit as we are beginning on this journey.
You could always get a re-audit, like if you add Web3, right?
Yeah, well,
like if you're going to add
the idea is after we launch, then we'll basically continue to work with Hackenproof and get a full audit after launch as well. Is the plan. That's what we were talking about with them. They're pretty confident as well. They said if we go through the audit competition first, they believe we'll also be launch ready for this as well. So I trust them as well.
My personal bet, my money's on Tyler Simpson.
Nice.
If he found the vulnerability in the Cetus flash loan in March, I think he can check out just a Web 2 style yield farm, no problem.
Oh, that's the last thing. For anyone who's already signed up through our onboarding on our website, I'll be contacting you all individually to get you set up. You don't need to put your KYC into Hackenproof, but you just need to sign up. So basically you give them your email and then you can open up an account with them and also join the hackathon. So we have about 35 to 40 people who have signed up on our end for the hackathon. So just know that the money's been doubled to 10K and it's happening on Monday. And it's going to run for 3 weeks, by the way. So the Hackenproof suggested, they said a 1 week length is too short because they're kind of right. They said, you're expecting that everyone in the world is just going to drop what they're doing for your audit competition. That's not how crypto works. People are busy. They need to have time to set aside what they're doing.
Well, at least there'll be a countdown, there'll be an end to it because a lot of people are like, when is it going to happen? When this is over, you'll actually have like a date.
Yeah,
that'll be nice to have.
Yeah, and if enough vulnerabilities are found even halfway through, we can also stop it early, give out the money, and then fix it and launch as well. That's also a possibility. So lots of things. Exciting. I'm just happy that this is all rolling now because I hate spinning my wheels, man. I like putting things out. I like getting things done, and so happy.
Yeah, and you've been grinding and perfecting this out since like December, January. So it's a long time coming.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's the news.
It's got to be perfect with you. I know it's got to be absolutely rock solid.
Oh yeah, it's great that you secured the tier 1 at not an exorbitant extortionary price, and that they work with the Sui Foundation as well. So that sounds like a match made in heaven. That's going to be awesome.
Exactly. It's exactly right.
Yeah, Sui Foundation, anything linked with that's automatic A+. Like that's what everyone in the community wants to see because, we all know the foundation, how connected they are. So that's really cool.
Yep.
Does Hackenproof, I'm sure they have an X page. I'm just trying to get something on the Jumbotron. If anyone can post it on their profile, I could put it up there just so they could see like who they are.
It'd be Hackenproof, Hackenproof. But What was another thing I was going to talk about? I forgot. It's gone out of my head.
So
It'll
you
come
said
back.
about the building, like create. So that's not happening with this hackathon.
No, I spoke to them. They said it's too confusing. They said just stick to one track, and if you want to do create, you can do it after you launch. They said because on their website, for Hackenproof's website, they have two parts. They have audits and they have bounties. So the bounty is for their hackathon, which is all about building, and their audit section is for security. So they said if we want to do an audit competition, it's security based. If we want to do a bounty competition, it's building based. So it will be after we launch, we'll start a bounty competition as well. So we'll have prizes for people who want to build as well on top. I mean, they have some really huge projects which are using Hackenproof. Some of the larger ones,
right?
Bluefin are currently running a audit competition with them. Also,
Oh, wow.
1inch have done before. Yep. Zilliqa Chain, which is one of these old dead zombie chains. They've worked with them before as well. And over on
I bought a bunch of Shardcoin in 2020, so
me too.
it still could go.
Me too, Danny.
It was like a payment one. It was a cool chain. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I've probably still got it staked, and it's just worth nothing now. But
what about Safe Moon? Did anyone buy Safe Moon?
Yeah, I bought lots of
I had
Safe
some
Moon,
safe man back in the day.
I had tons of Safe Moon.
Still got
And
the moon though.
I'm surprised Certic's still around. They're like the Nike, but they're probably just like bloated and extortionary to like you're just paying for the branding at that point. You can get a good car or some good shoes that are still quality, but don't have to be, a Lotus or a Nike.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. Like I've talked about this before with audit companies. They're marketing, right? If you're going to pay that much money for an audit company, how are they going to be different to one that you're paying 10,000 for or 100,000 for? How much more special are these auditors going to be? Not much. They just have a longer history and maybe less incidents, right? But even if you take the big boys like Certic, right? How many protocols have they audited which are actually scams, right? Or have been exploited in the past? Loads and loads of projects I've been in have been audited by Certic and they still rugged, right? So there's nothing stopping a tier 1 audited project from rugging or being exploited, in my opinion. So then when I was looking through this audit competition and how it's working with hundreds of white hats, not just a couple people all coming through, and they're financially incentivized individually to try and find the vulnerabilities, because that means they're going to get all the money to themselves. For this, Hackenproof only takes 7% of the bounty, right? So we're giving $10,000 to people, and we're only giving $700 to Hackenproof, which is also amazing because they said we're doing this because we want people to understand that we are a legitimate and we are the strongest audit company in crypto. We aren't just here to try and capture money from people's from projects' wallets. We're here to also make sure that everything that we talk about and everything we list is safe. So I really appreciate what they had to say as well. In terms of
that is really awesome, because I dabbled in, I still do, like in white hat, like on the dark net and stuff, and white hat hacking, it's a big thing. Like a lot of people want to learn it. There's bug bounties all over the place. These guys will go like completely just obsessed with it, and especially with money involved, like they'll tear it to pieces, which is what we want, right? So that's going to be good for sure.
Oh yeah.
They sound hungry. They sound like they want to prove themselves to like the broader crypto world. So yeah, they're going to do a great job.
So, and then another benefit is now that our code is out and it will be open source on Hacking, I can now start to apply to the different Sui foundations which have lined up to apply to as well. Because actually build on Sui, if anyone who's listening who's a developer as well, is a great website. So sui.io/developer courses. If you go through these, you're going to find a lot of help for what's coming up with Sui and how you can get involved and try and push your project a bit more. For example, they have Sui Fest coming up in October. It's in Singapore, which is very close to me, so I'm considering going to Sui Fest. They also have Sui Connect Istanbul, which is, it's already passed, sorry. Yeah, so Sui Fest would be the next one in October. Then they have another one in Taiwan and another one in South Korea coming up as well. And they also have, for example, Aftermath, right? So Aftermath, now lists themselves as an incubator for Sui projects. So it offers other projects on Sui services, including trading, staking, bridging, liquid staking, and lets other people leverage their technology. So now that
They're very top notch.
yeah, and now that
For sure.
our code is open source and we'll be going through this competition, I'm going to be applying to Aftermath to see how we can work in synergy as well. Probably aggregating essentially would be the main one. Also, Cetus as well are on the same Sui.io incubator list, which is very interesting because I didn't know that was happening. Then, of course, they have all these grants for Sui audits as well, which are now kicking off. Even Hackenproof advised us that because of the Cetus incident, now a lot of Sui projects, a lot of Sui.io, Sui Foundation, are pushing now this idea that they want to be helping to fund people's audits, essentially. So we'll also be contacting them about that to see if they are interested in giving us some money.
Oh, they're
But let's see
definitely
about
very
that.
generous.
Yeah.
Sui is really good with, like, they pay you to build. Like, we will pay you build on us, you know, because they know it's going to be the best. The everything of things, as Costas Crypto says.
Exactly. It's all good.
Yeah, it's mutually beneficial. They want to have good projects like SweetX to represent the blockchain, so it makes sense for them to fund you guys.
That's right. Yeah, so that's all my news. I want to talk about, in terms of Sui, I noticed that there's a narrative growing now for buying stocks like Tesla on Sui, but I haven't found out if it's actually possible yet. Anyone know about that?
Well, I just heard that Solana had a bunch of, I guess, stocks that are tokenized. Now, I've been in a bunch of shit coins in my life where they said thing, but then it wasn't.
Yeah,
but I don't know if they've actually like nailed that down, but it looked like they have on Solana.
Because I used to do that on Luna Chain like 4 or 5 years ago. You could buy like stocks and then put them in liquidity pools. I remember that.
On Luna, you could, hey?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think it's that groundbreaking, but I haven't seen any real news. I saw one tweet, but I can't remember who it was by, and they were talking about it.
That's pretty neat. And then I'm like, is the DeLorean thing stocks, or it's a token as well? I would like to see more stock integration on this week. Really cool.
I think it's just for DeLorean, it's a token for their game. I think I haven't paid attention to that actually. I've been watching it.
It's cool. It's been doing good. It looks like. I don't know.
Well, the intern, I was just on a space with him on Discord, and he said he was just talking with that guy personally. So we will hear about that later on. He said he's going to jump on around 7:15. So we'll be able to get answers about that, because I was confused about the coin because it first launched and then it just nosedived. But I guess that was all the people that were in the pre-sale.
Yeah, that's what happens. No.
I thought it was like a rug. I'm like, oh shit, that sucks. But then Mr. Crypto was like, oh man, it's the best time to buy it. And like, so wait, it's not over? Like, what's going on? I guess it's gone up. Well, at least as of a few days ago. I don't know where it's at right now, but it's definitely a real project. I just saw a video recently about the car. It's coming out in like 2027. They're trying to make it better than like a Tesla with a Sui wallet built into it. You can just drive through McDonald's and pay with Sui with your car. Crazy stuff like that.
It is really cool. I saw that Costas just posted about a Visa collaboration hosted at their Sui headquarters in Europe, and they were giving a one-day crash course on ideas and prototypes with Visa at the helm, and then they're going to kind of look at those proof of ideas and try and integrate it into payments and commerce. I think that's kind of the future, maybe like a new blockchain interact type thing.
If there was a Sui Visa card, man, that would be so awesome. Because I have Bitso where I'm at, but they did away with their debit card. I used to have a card I could use as my account, and they canceled it. So that sucks. I wanted to get another crypto Visa card because that was cool.
Then also they
I know. I
have
think
the launch of Full Sail, right? Are you guys in Full Sail?
no, but I know it's really popular. I was in there when they first pitched it on Uber Geek. You know, the guy that comes in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
He's actually an ambassador for them. They're definitely doing something. They're doing a really good project. I just don't know the full details about it, but
I'm in.
because Potato Finance have been talking about how they have integration with them as well, and I know everything Potato does is like top notch. So
from
I would imagine
the voice call we had with Uber Geek when he was talking about Full Sail, he was explaining to me that it is essentially Aerodrome on Sui. So it's a full system VE33 style DEX with voting and epochs all running on Sui and powered by Aftermath, I think. And looking through the the website, it looks like it's pretty much that. So you can swap tokens, you can add liquidity and earn tokens, and then you can take your reward token, lock it, and vote. And by voting, then you get platform fees. So pretty much same as Aerodrome, Equalizer, SwapX, if you've played around in these kind of VE33 style dexes. Looks like that, but I'm not sure if it's different or special in any way to other ones. But great, because another passive income printer on Sui is exactly what we need. So it looks like they're already open, right?
So what is it that makes them unique compared to other things like it? It's you earn a passive income. Like what's unique about it than other things?
Okay, so their DEX looks like it is integrated with Aftermath. Yeah, so it's powered by Aftermath. So Full Sail and Aftermath will use the same DEX. So they're aggregating through each other, which means there's enough liquidity for them to kick off. So what you would do is you go to liquidity, and then you can add like Sui USDC, for example. So you can add in Sui USDC. It's V3 style. And you get 50% APR at the moment. It depends on the trading volume of everything that's happening. Once you deposit that, then you'll earn the Sui and USDC in rewards. It looks like they haven't yet added the reward token, but I'm guessing once they add a reward token, say they call it Full Sail token, you'll then be able to go to the vote section and you can stake or lock your Full Sail token to then use it to vote for which liquidity pools get more rewards, essentially. So the more people who vote for different pools, that raises the APR of these pools. You have to turn up and vote weekly. And by them voting, you then get the rewards from these pools. It's quite complex. I'm active only on one of these style of dexes on Sonic because every week I need to, the pros and cons are, the pros are that you get real revenue from different projects who want to be noticed on the dex. So for example, if you had a coin and you wanted to be more visible on Full Sail, then what you could do is you could bribe and essentially give some of your tokens to the community who are using liquidity in Full Sail. And at the end of every week, those people would get those coins, and therefore they're kind of voting for you and you're getting more attention to your project. But anyway, so I use one of these over on Sonic called SwapX. It entails having to go there at least twice a week and spend about half an hour kind of voting to decide which pools I want to give more of my lock token power to. And then at the end of every week, you get your reward and tokens back. So it's quite time consuming, but can be quite profitable if you put the time in.
That seems to be a common theme with a lot of these projects on Sui, where you have to go to their Discord and then go to Galx and then like go to a bunch of other websites. It's like it's too much sometimes. So hopefully it's not too complicated.
It's not for everyone, but they can, like, if you take the biggest DEX on base chain is Aerodrome, right? They are VE33. The biggest DEX on Sonic is either Shadow or SwapX. Both of them are VE33. Second biggest DEX on Binance Smart Chain is Thena. That is VE33. So it's definitely a popular system across the board. I don't think Solana has a VE33. Possibly does. But the thing though with Sui, that's why I'm quite interested in Full Sail, because we all know that on Sui, a lot of people are new to crypto and new to DeFi. So
Definitely.
the idea of using this model, which is a lot more complex than simple farm and earn, right? It will be seen if people like it or not, right? If it hits or not. So true.
Yeah, Uber Geek, I respected him for a long time. He had the spaces where I first was able to speak with Adani,
Yeah.
and like full conversation, like, full interview. It wasn't like when the hack happened and they just said a couple things. He explained to me about the ZK login and his favorite game being GoldenEye 007.
Yeah.
So it was cool to be able to talk to the actual developers of Sui. They're accessible. I know Dunny's making like shoe technology with Costas Crypto.
That's right.
Checking in.
Dunny shoes.
That was awesome.
Dunny Jordans.
Yeah, or Dunnies or piezoelectric Dunnies. Yeah, hell yeah, 2026. Those will be out.
Nice. So that's all the things I've noticed on Sui this week, I think, that I've been looking at. Would be Full Sail, stocks, buying, because I kind of want to get lots of Tesla, but I don't want to buy stocks because it's essentially very boring for me. I'd rather just buy stocks which are crypto, because then I can sell them into Bitcoin at any time.
That's funny how they have crypto that represent stocks, and they also have stocks that represent crypto. So
Yeah.
if you have both styles,
It's kind of weird, right?
kind of odd. Like they have ETFs, spot trade ETFs, which Sui is supposed to be getting. Like every week they talk about it. But what about in the broader crypto world, Richie? Since you're multi-chain channel on Crypto Mischief, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, what's going on with all those that you know of?
Ethereum's looking bullish again. Not sure
Yeah,
why.
I picked up quite a bit when it was at It was like at 1,700.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's turning bullish again. Maybe some other people would know.
Yeah, I watched the Paul Barron YouTube channel a lot for like the macro signals.
Okay.
There's something. It's always like a BlackRock is buying a whole bunch or something like this going on.
Well,
and BlackRock did buy something with Sui recently as well.
The main big reason why ETH kind of stopped being bearish was a couple months ago when they made an upgrade to how ETH works and just kind of made it more efficient, I guess, which was a big one. It kind of stopped the bleed in the token price, because Ethereum was around about $4,000 just over a year ago. It was back in 2023, it was my pick for like the token which is going to blow away everything. All I was telling people was buy ETH.
Shardy, mute your microphone until it's your turn to speak.
Yeah.
Is it on?
Oh, we got Shardcoin. Nice.
Yeah,
My thing's bugging. It's showing requests right now.
No, but you're unmuted though.
Well, let me leave and rejoin. Hold up, it's bugging.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's annoying. That happens to me sometimes too.
Yeah, back in even 2024, ETH was $4,000, right? Now it's 2,600. So I really want to get a 10K ETH because I've got a ledger where I just put all this ETH in there and then I just leave it there. But it's just been going down and down and lower and lower. I don't know. But now at the moment, I'm leveraging ETH. If you want a good play, who's actually one of our advisors for SuiDex, if you go to dexfi.com and then you go to the bond section, this is amazing. Well, what they do is, I've not seen anything like this. What you do is you mint NFTs with ETH on base chain. These NFTs then get put into a treasury, and then DexFi yield farm them for you and give you USDC in payment. At any time, you can then redeem the NFTs back into ETH and walk away. You can also transparently see their yield farming fund, which they use their own technology for, called the Dex Vaults. So they put everything into the Dex Vaults. It's been running for about a month now. They've managed to build up $1.3 million so far. For me, I've put about, 3.5 ETH in so far. And it's churning now. 3.5 ETH is now making about 100% APR, which is about $10 to $15 a day, which is great because passively over time, the more I continue to compound into this, the more they grow and grow. And then at any point when I'm like, I don't like this anymore, I want my capital back, you can just redeem your NFTs and walk away. So that's my ETH play, because I don't want to play around with farming ETH anymore. I've been burned too many times. Way too volatile. All of the you can get really amazing volume on, for example, if a year ago I was farming like Andy in ETH, Arbitrum coin in ETH, Pendle in ETH, and getting hundreds, 200, 300% APR on them. But then you go away for a week, you come back, and then both tokens are just dumped horribly. It's too stressful. So I quite like, basically they call it the easy button yield farming with DexFi, and it's working very well. And just 2-click, and you're in, and you're
That
earning.
was always classic crypto mischief videos back in the day. Just like, oh, what website Richie's going to? Just go here, put this there, and then every day you just come back and collect free money. Just comes out of nowhere, like right on.
There's a couple of them, because I also use another called Paca Finance, which is on the Binance Smart Chain. The only difference would be that with Paca, you get higher APR. You get 0.4% daily, which would be, what's that? That's closer to 200% APR, maybe 150. Whereas with DexFi, you get just under 100% APR. With DexFi, you can see exactly where all the funds are. Whereas with Paca, you have to trust the team that they're farming things very well. But I know the team of both of these projects, but they're both really great for passive income. Doing nothing. You 2 deposits. 1 is you put the coin in. 2 is you claim the coins out. So I like these kind of things. Sui doesn't have one yet. I think it would be very popular in Sui though, because Sui has a lot of people who like the easy button, basically, right? Easy.
Well, you're going to build it next for the farm and the Dex, right?
Oh yeah,
you're going to add it next.
That's the whole aim for Sui Dex. For Sui Dex, we are the easy button. Yeah, we could build it. Yeah,
right on.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought it was cool that you built something where you had the most success from, on your YouTube channel, which I do want to get the link up, because, we are live on Crypto Mischief YouTube, because Richie's with us here. He streams. If you go to his channel, go to the live section, you can see the previous spaces.
So anyway, let's get some more news. Do we have?
Yeah, I was going to see.
Shardcoin?
Is MBS? Are you representing Shardcoin on a different account with an emoji? Let's see.
See, we got Elon Muskie in the audience.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, good.
So are you the developer of Shardcoin on a different account, or?
No, I'm making a mobile app that's also including blockchain, but I'm hopping around different chains to kind of see the communities and essentially get a feel about, like, for the bear market, because like everyone's like, oh, do Solana, and it's like, I think Solana's gonna get everyone exactly. Everyone's gonna get tired of it. They're gonna get pissed. I like Sui. I've went to some XRP spaces, and it's like, it's a lot of just old people that don't know crypto, that act like they know crypto because their friend or there's someone that, like, at a golf club told them about XRP. That's what I've encountered. So I'm like, so far Sui is the best one. But I was going to ask about the building on Sui. How easy is it compared to other chains, I guess, from people's experience?
Oh, Richie could definitely tell you about that.
Who was it?
Richie, are you still there? He's talking about building on Sui. So with Move programming language, because he's spent the last 7 months creating a yield farm and Dex on Sui. So
he's a fucking pro. Yeah, no, 100%. Where's Richie? Where is he at?
Well, we're live on YouTube, but he might be having some connection issues. He's behind the Sui Dex account. The Sui Dex, that's Richie, Crypto Mischief there.
I'm gonna go ahead and send him a follow as well. Yeah, I mean, what I'm making is it's gonna be also like NFT based. So I'm making an auto mechanic app. I work on cars. I have a auto, business where I basically fix cars on the side of the road. And I'm literally just making an app that makes it really simple for people. Like if your car's not starting, go through this little questionnaire and it'll let you know, like, essentially the same thing I would tell you, or like a mechanic's going to tell you for what the problem could be. This way, when you go to the shop, they can't wreck you. Or like if you're a woman, let's say, and you don't know what's going on, and you know you're probably going to get wrecked by the shop, and you don't have someone nearby who's a friend that's a mechanic, this can help. But it also can track your maintenance. So like it'll send a reminder to your phone, like, hey, you need an oil change. Hey, you need your tires rotated. Hey, don't forget your wiper blades to get replaced. Different stuff like that, and also track your miles per gallon, along with, you put in your odometer on it, and you can see, as you go through, when those maintenance items come up. And then eventually I plan to get one of those little plug-in devices with our app. So instead of the user having to tap anything, it just literally gives you the notifications right then and there to make it even less of an effort to even try and have to do anything car-wise. And then for the NFT would be literally making your car an NFT. So instead of Carfax, it'd be an NFT version of that. So if you get a car, eventually, if you get a car from a dealership, the hopes would be you could look on our app, try and find that VIN number for that car once you type it into the app, and see if someone else on the app was already an owner of it. And then in there to also see what the prior maintenance logs were, along with adding a section where the prior owner can leave you notes. So if it shows that the NFT transferred from the old owner, instead of having to have mutable data on the NFT, it would just be in the app. So once it loads that NFT as you are the new holder, it comes to the notes section. So the old user can tell you, hey, this thing has electrical issues, or hey, I always had a problem with the right rear, like the right headlight. It always
Well,
whenever I
how
hit a
well do
bump
you
would
know
go.
Sui Network? How well do you
Not at
know
all.
this?
Not at all. That's why I'm going to
Because
Spaces.
you probably would really want to do it on the Sui Network, because their NFTs are dynamic. They can have properties. They're changeable. So the car could have like updating properties. It's not static. It's one of the only chains that I know of that have dynamic NFTs that can have properties, because everything is an object. It's a fully object model, parallel execution, no bottleneck. That's why it never slows down.
Yeah, that'd be
So
perfect, especially for the Carfax version with it. Now, mind you, the Carfax.
Hey, MBS, I want to get in. My idea was a Carfax gray market, because every time you pull a Carfax, it's $95. If we could like attach it to an NFT, I wanted to have a central database of Carfaxes. I work at a car auction, and it's just Carfax after Carfax after Carfax. But if you could somehow have your Carfax, upload it, and share it with like friends or other people that are using this NFT database, and maybe they're paying like a monthly subscription, but you could have all kinds of different VINs and Carfaxes uploaded on there. And then
no, 100%. Well, with it being an app, that's one thing I like with it is, so instead of us having to really crowdfund, it would just be with. I've already built out the app. The demo's already live. We just don't have the OBO port thing, right, or the OBD port thing.
Yeah, the OBO2
so that's going to be a little
whatever.
bit down the line. So at first, the app is just going to cost 99 cents. So it's nothing too intrusive. It allows people who are first-time car users to actually take advantage and learn how to properly maintain their car. A little bit later on, probably after a couple months or so, I'll just contact one of those Chinese companies that have those company GPS tracker devices that do the same thing. Just have them remake it where it's Bluetoothable, and write a code that can actually commute with our app.
Very cool. And then like your idea of helping, people broken down on the side of the road, and it's a leaky water pump, but the mechanic's telling them it's a blown head gasket or something.
Oh, exactly. It also lets you know, like, there's an advanced section where, like, if you have the P codes you pull, so like the powertrain codes, you type it in there, it breaks down what exactly it is. It can even give you a step-by-step for further diagnostic where, is there a vacuum leak? Okay, do you hear a hissing noise? If it's a vacuum leak, you're going to hear a hissing noise. Do you hear it? No. Okay, well, it's probably this, this, and this. So you at least have a better understanding. Now, mind you, with a car, it can be fucking something completely different sometimes. Like, I've been stumped where I'm like, yeah, it seems like it's this, but it's not. If it quacks like a duck, somehow it's a fucking chicken. But this just kind of gives you a better understanding. So when you go to the mechanic, they're not going to really try and take advantage and sell you unnecessary stuff, because they're going to think, oh, this person knows what they're talking about.
It might be cool to have like common issues on like your make and model as well.
Yeah. So what's nice with it is it's with the year, make, and model, right? For the main area where the standard diagnostic is, it's just like for like every car, like standard stuff. Car won't start. You can tap on electrical issue, leaking fluid, smoke from tailpipe. In the advanced section is where it would then have more information for it. When it comes to specific years, makes, and models, I wouldn't have access to the dealer codes, right? So those are the codes that, like, if I try to read them, I'm not going to be able to access it without actually having the dealer license or some kind of access to that database that maybe Ford or Chevy.
You can get those on torrent websites. You can download those from torrent websites.
Yes,
I have access to those things.
No, 100%. I have my mom actually works at a truck shop, so she already offered me the Ford and Chevy ones. But I was like, look, I'm like, I would love to, but if this thing starts making any kind of, like, I don't know, like any kind of, like, if it does really good, I don't want to get sued for somehow having information I didn't pay for, or having any kind of legality with it, And I'm like, it's supposed to help people, to help kind of diagnose it more, but there's some stuff like, it's not going to be able to. And it's like I can give them all the information in the world with it, but there is some stuff generally you just got to take it to the shop, because realistically, if you need an app to tell you how to fix the car, and like it's just supposed to give you a general understanding, but if you like need an app to do all that kind of stuff, you're really better off taking it to the shop, and it even lets you know where it's like this is something more labor intensive. You're going to want to take it into a repair shop or a trusted technician, just to ensure that I don't, I'm not responsible for a user like ripping his hands off in the serpentine belt or nothing crazy.
Hey guys, real quick, I wanted to hear from Elon Musk, because I know he's a big fan of Richie and he doesn't get a chance to speak up, and he has his hand up. I'd love to hear what he has to say. Elon Musk.
Yeah, build on Sui, buddy. I know you can build anything on Sui. It's early, so everything they're building and we're building, you got to kind of blaze your own trail. But the good news is that anything's possible. I would love to see more automotive technology being integrated with Web3 and blockchain.
I bet Elon Musk is going to tell us about his Corvette and the engine he had to change on it.
Yeah, I'm guessing we could catch up
Right,
more, but I'm interested to hear from Elon Musk, because he doesn't show up very often.
Yeah, you're all good. I have to go into a VC anyway, so I gave you guys some follows. I'll follow some more too. But yeah, if you guys wanted to check out the app, I have the beta on a website. I also trademarked the name already and everything.
Well, Richie, he was trying to reach you earlier.
What happened?
He was wanting to know about building on Sui, and I think you were MIA.
Oh, okay.
Richie.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm here.
He was like, how is it building on Sui? And I guess you were taking a break.
It's tough. You got to, the problem is that you got to get devs who are capable in Sui move language, which is similar to Rust on Solana, but different. So then they need to be trained up or learn on the job how to code through Sui, which is a steep learning curve. So either you get a dev who doesn't know yet and they learn while they're doing it, or you get one who already does, but because there are not many Sui devs, they cost a pretty penny compared to other devs for like EVM, or even Rust developers would be cheaper. So at the moment, Sui developers are some of the most expensive. Is what I've found. Or learn it yourself, which I've been trying, but it's a lot different to EVM. It's a lot different.
So Elon Musk, what do you got to say? You have a Corvette. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I don't need to go over any of that shit. I appreciate it, but I just spent a month ripping that thing apart and putting a brand new three-stroker in it. So the last thing I want to do is talk about it some more. But no, I just wanted to hop on here, like you guys said. I don't get on here for Spaces a lot. I'm super busy with real estate all the time, and then I'm bushed by the time you guys have Spaces. But I did want to say to everybody that's in here, if you haven't already, like this and share this on your page to get more people in here. And if you're thinking about looking into Richie, I remember when I first found Richie, was actually he turned on his YouTube channel. I think it was August of 2020, and I was one of his, like, I don't know, first 50 subscribers or some shit like that. But Richie's building that Sui Dex. And I've been in every project that he's ever been in, and I've followed a lot of his stuff, made a lot of money over the years from his knowledge. But, out of the first 10 videos, Richie, that you did you know that 5 of them were about yield farming? Your first 10 videos you made back in 2020?
Yeah, I bet they were actually, probably, because I do like yield farming.
Oh, yeah. Your first video ever, if I remember correctly, was Bet Fury. And then the next one was a yield farm video. So You know, the second video is the first one I ever watched about yield farming, and you've done nothing but make like content teaching people, and this is how you make money, and you know, you never make the shit from it. So I bet just anybody in here, you know, he's building this Sui Dex. This is like getting into Pancake Swap when Pancake Swap was still developing Pancake Swap on BNB. That's what Sui Dex is, I think personally, is going to be on Sui, and it's on the hottest chain.
Right on. That's why I wanted you up here, because I knew you were a big fan of Richie, and I joined around the same time. It was the 12th video. I was actually looking for White's token information, which is where I got my name. So yeah, and he used to say, instead of goddamn cryptocurrency, was get your hands off my money, governments.
Yeah, I remember all that shit. Jesus.
Yeah,
but
Elon, I don't know.
No,
if,
I mean,
I don't know if you missed the start of this the spaces, but I announced that we're gonna start the audit hackathon on Monday. So we got our partner for it. So we partnered up with Hack and Proof, who are tier 1, and we're gonna get that rolling on Monday. So excited to do that, because we've been spinning my wheels basically for 2 weeks, waiting for them all to get through all their meetings and whatever with the code team, and it's boring stuff, but it's done, and now we're starting that up on Monday.
Nice.
And
Nice. Well,
that reminds me, Dunny, you got your SCC NFT waiting for you. You can join us all in there.
Oh yeah, Dunny, I sent you one. I sent you an SCC.
Thanks,
NFT.
guys. You
get in the DAO.
Yeah, to my my Trust wallet, my Ethereum wallet. Yes.
Nice.
Well,
yeah, I gotta get that going this weekend.
I'm in. Richie knows this. I'm into a lot of crypto. I pay attention a lot. I don't get on here a lot, but I pay attention and make money off of it, and I have for quite some time. But you know, I got into the private raise on Sui Dex. I maxed out. I put 3,500 into that thing, and when it launches, I was originally. I mean, I got 7,000 sitting aside to put into it when it launches, but I'm having like a fucking stellar month. I think I'm making like $80,000 this month, so I'm probably going to put about $17,000 into it. I think across 2 or 3 wallets, because I know where we are and where it sits. So. Richie, I just want to say thanks, man. I don't get to voice chat with you a lot, so I just want to say thanks for all the years of helping me, and you've made me a ton of money. You've always been honest, and even when things went sideways, you made sure to take care of the community, and that included me. So appreciate you, man.
It's the most important thing. But like I always find, like remember me and Elon Musk first got talking when it was during, we were basically doing an investment competition with something called the Drip Garden. Where on Twitter I'd say like, I just put like in like $5,000. Like, well, I just put in $6,000. Like, well, I just put in $8,000. And then after about a year, like, oh, look, we lost all our money. Yep, we did.
Yep. yeah. Luckily, it was only like, I think I ended up at like 52,000 or something. But you know, it wasn't that much.
Man. Dude, I'd like to have all that money back.
Huh?
Yeah, but the funny thing is we both lost. So
here, I gotta take off, gentlemen, for a VC. It's been a pleasure. I followed you guys. I'll definitely be hitting you up, Richie, as well too.
Awesome.
If you're available for kind of picking your brain on it for Sui. I'm mainly just focusing on the NFT side of it, to incorporate with it, and then I'll start looking into Sui's code and whatnot and see how difficult it is. How is the exchanges with the different wallets and stuff, like multi-sig and the other security stuff?
That's okay. That's pretty good.
Real quick, I gotta hop off here. I got a busy day. I have 3 closings tomorrow. So listen, I'll catch you guys. Tomorrow. I've got a party tomorrow and 3 closings on Friday. So I'll catch you all later. Appreciate you, Richie. Wise DGen. Sure, kiss my ass. Have a good night, guys.
Hey, I love you. I knew you had to come up. I knew you had good stuff to say about Richie. We need to hear from him, because I've heard you on his face talk about him before, and he needs more credit. He's as legit as they come as far as crypto and YouTubers. Like, we have a long history. He's a good guy. So let's see.
We have MBS.
Shardy, are you ready?
Yeah, let's get Shardy on. Let's go.
What's up, Shardy?
I'm interested to hear about this. I think he's in the space between X and when he's talking. Maybe. Oh.
Are you there, Sharp? We can't hear you if your mic's on. It's just no sound. Sui Base. Oh yeah, he's working. Sui Base. Do you have anything to say about Shardy? I knew you were involved in that somewhat. Okay, Shardy's requesting again. See if he's...
Yeah, I tried to promote him there.
Now, lads,
Sharte, can we hear him?
can you guys hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah, we can.
Oh,
Shardy.
thank the Lord, the internet was bugging. All right. Just a simple
You're
question.
good.
Just wanted to ask, as you're getting like familiar with Move, you ever think about like making your platform like cross compatible with Movement or Aptos or any of those other like chains that are kind of using the same language? You know.
Not really. I like Sui. Like Aptos seems like they are now just on the kind of the coattails of Sui and just copying whatever they're doing. I noticed that Aptos are just opening up their own Walrus protocol. So
The ideas are definitely very similar.
They're very
But
similar.
I feel like you
Yeah.
get some extra volume.
Could do, but then
The thing with Aptos and Sui is that Sui took the Move language and they improved it and they made it into Sui Move. That upgrade is what gave it its object model, because Aptos uses Move, but it's not object model based, so they can't have dynamic NFTs and all the same awesome things that Sui has just because it's on Move. The Miston Labs have made several upgrades. Like they were the smartest of the bunch when they split from the DM. So that's why Sui is so much better. Aptos launched quickly. They didn't do anything improvements until after. Miston Labs, they took their time. They made it bomb as hell. That's why Sui is the best.
yeah,
I guess why that one came out on top.
I think if there was any like migration or moving to another chain with what we're building, I would have to be Sui and Base Chain and Solana would be the three places where I would consider spreading out to and launching. I don't really. They're the big three essentially. I think for this bull run, they'll be the big three, and I mean the other ones would be okay. But I don't think that the work involved in getting it all seamlessly working and migrating without any technical issue or vulnerability or or people trying to hack it or bring it down, it just wouldn't be worth it for going to a chain that's not going to bring significant volume. And you're going to find that on Base Chain, Solana Chain, even Binance Smart Chain, you'd find it, and Sui Chain. I think they're the big ones.
That definitely makes best to focus on the phantom, easily accessible, cheap chains.
Yeah, totally. But anyway, I want to learn about Shardcoin because Furley told me about it yesterday.
How was your experience launching on Moonbags? Because the guy keeps asking me to do more spaces on there. I'm trying to find people to have on the page, so I'd love to hear about your experience with that.
I love Moonbags so far. I love that you guys actually incentivize the creators to hold. Build some real fucking communities. For once, like half the fees go, so you don't have to sell like any tokens. I just love what you guys are doing. It's good for the space.
Well, I'm an ambassador. You probably know more about it than me. Like when people are staking and there's a button that says like distribute, like where do those coins go? Who does that get distributed to? Because I'm kind of a bad ambassador. I should know more about it because I started with Raid and X. I know more about Raid and X. They just added me to Moonbags because they're the same owners. I don't know very much about Moonbags. So
I'm pretty sure it's like 20% of the fee rewards go to like Shro stakers to like their token, and then I think it's like 25% or something goes to the actual stakers, and then it's like 30 goes to the creator, something like that. Pretty sure.
Right on.
I love it.
Yeah, and I think anyone can hit the distribute button, and then it like activates the distribution, or it can pile up in there, and then I
that's
tried
what I was wondering
just for fun.
That's what I was wondering, Danny. I'm like, how come anyone can press this? Like, who is this making this decision? And it's anyone can do it. I need to look into that more. Like, what's going on with that?
Everyone should definitely save their gas and usually just let the send them out. Save you money.
Yeah, I figured. That should be like built in. Like, it should be when the dev wants to do it. But I don't know. I'll have to check with. They did update their white paper because they did just recently win the Stack Overflow in Vietnam. Raid and X and Moonbags both won their respective categories. So that was a hackathon event as well. So they have really good code, smart contract, and everything.
Yeah, that was the big official Sui 2025 hackathon that they held, and both of those projects placed. It was also really cool to just Google 2025 Sui Hackathon, and then I just clicked all the links and looked at all the winning projects, and it was just cool to see what's up and coming and what was on there.
I think the Sui YouTube channel is a great place for information that's overlooked. It has the entire Basecamp playlist. A lot of stuff I don't see anywhere else they have on their YouTube channel. Has all the Stack Overflow, all the hackathon stuff, and they seem to be paying more attention to it. And I'm a YouTube addict myself, anyways. It's all I really watch. Haven't had satellite or cable in like 10 years. So, Shardy, what's your plans for the coin in the future? Just just straight meme coin and community building, having spaces, having fun.
Yeah, pretty much just trying to build a rabid community here around Shardcoin. I think it's something that the people can get behind. We're not going to do any NFTs or anything. It's just going to be just straight memes.
That's cool. That works. Memes are 60% community, and Sui Base, he was pretty bullish on it. We were talking to him, but
he's
might
an
not be able
OG.
to.
He's from the Move Pump launch. He's a go. Stick with us the whole way.
Yeah, Sui Base. I mean, I believe, he was working with 1000X maybe, and I might be confused. I talked to a lot of people, but a lot of good projects. And yeah, I think we should get space on Moonbags if you guys know like some pretty good Moonbags projects, because I have trouble finding quality projects that launch on Moonbags because it's a new protocol. Because, I would prefer to have projects like SuiTrump or Pepe on Sui or Aquashock that I've known for a long time, but all the projects on not on Moonpump, but Moonbags are fairly new, so I don't really know the members that well. So if you're willing to speak on a Moonbag space, Shardy, we can set that up, and that's definitely some good exposure.
I'd be down. Just gotta spread the shark gospel everywhere.
I like Shark because it's a little bit different than what's been done before. There's a fart coin on Solana, but everyone knows that a shark is more powerful than a fart, and it's a little bit different. And I think that's kind of your differentiating factor, and that's cool.
The fusion
and
of
the community is strong, because I've been noticing I have several staked bags on Moonbags, and I was like, oh man, are people giving up? And it just came back like out of nowhere. I'm like, all right, it's sweet. I'm glad I kept it staked, so I'm looking forward to that. Go Shardcoin. We'll pump the shard out of it.
the Shark Space program. Get ready.
Let's go. Wow, we have the crypto arborist here. What a MSS OG.
What's up,
and
guys?
Book of Binance. What are you doing on a Sui space? Are you starting a Sui project now?
Man, I've been sent here by my telegram to kind of like Rambo in the first movies, take pictures only. There's a whole new set of people want to know what you guys are doing, including me. So here to learn, here to soak it up, sir.
Oh, Sui is quite addicting, trust me, because I came, from Richie's channel and all that, from MSS and BNB and Smart Chain. And as soon as he launched SuiTrump and I learned about it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is where it's at. Being a computer nerd, the technology and the stuff capable on this network is just mind blowing, and they're still improving it. So it's incredible what's capable on this network.
Well,
So
I
definitely,
can tell you this: a shark can be a very powerful thing, and it's kind of like the saying in real life: never trust the shark. This may go against that and say, hey, this may be the first time we can actually trust the shark.
Building
Hell yeah.
trust in the untrustworthy fart since 2025, baby. Let's get to it.
That's right. Oh
Hey,
my gosh, what a great time! I've got to buy some shark coin. I just got to figure out how to get over to Sui and buy it.
Are you so? Yeah, I just saw your DM, Arborist. So you're trying to figure out the basics of Sui to start with, right?
Teach me, oh great one.
Right. So what you want to do is get the Slush wallet. So if you go to, I guess it's slush.com. Let me slush.
You can go to the Google Play Store or the App Store directly. It has it too.
Yeah, but
unless you're getting it for your computer, then
if you go slush,
you go to your extensions.
If you go slush.app, then that'll take you to the real Slush wallet website. Then from there, it'll just have either you're on your phone or you're on your browser. Then you can download the wallet.
What's the best way to do it, phone or a PC?
For Sui, both work really well because Slush can also link to your Gmail, so you don't need to put in a seed phrase or do any of that. You can just link it, kind of like the the wallet that Aaron made for book.
Yeah.
So it almost
or like Phantom too.
The same as
you
that basically. So you just download the wallet, then link to your Gmail, and you're off, and that's your wallet open. And then from there, all you need to do is get Sui. So you can either bridge from other chains you're on. Like I know you're on BSC. You can bridge from BSC to Sui using like a bridge like Rocket, or you can just buy the Sui on Coinbase or Binance and then send it to your Slush wallet. And that's you in basically. That's it.
I like Change Now. It's worked for me.
Yeah, it also works. Yeah.
You just got to be careful because it's cross chain. You got to make sure you're not sending the wrong type of coin. But yeah. If you want a quick like breakdown of Sui, so it was originally developed by Meta for their coin Diem. So Zuckerberg flew in like the smartest brains of the entire world, billions of dollars spent. That's how Costas Crypto ended up there, and not any. He got literally like the smartest brains in cryptocurrency in the whole world to come and work on this Moob language for their Diem token, but it didn't work out because of regulation. So they split into two teams. The lesser of the bunch went to Aptos. The smartest and brightest stayed with Sui and Miston Labs, and it is a object model blockchain, so there's no bottleneck. You don't have to wait for the block to fill up. It'll just go to the next block. And the more people that use it, the faster it gets because more validators get in. So it is always sub-second finality speeds, literally like instantaneously. All the NFTs are dynamic. They can have their own object. They can own other objects. They can have properties. And that is very unique to Sui itself. There's no other chain like Sui network and the things you can do on it. I'd recommend checking out the Sui Basecamp 2025 playlist on YouTube.
Okay. I will definitely do that. And Richie and why is DGen one? I would love to add this to my YouTube channel and social media and start talking about it. There's a lot of interest in this, and looks like you can make a lot of money on this. So I definitely want to jump into this, learn it, and figure it out.
Arborist, you know what we can do? We could do a live and do it on my channel and your channel. And we can just do like setup on Sui, and then because there's once you get the wallet and you get the Sui coin, like I know because we have similar interests, right? We want to find passive income. We want to find kind of fun things to do online. We want to find ways to basically make money, right?
Right.
So I could choose like 3 or 4 different places as well that you can stake or earn from low risk to high risk and play around because there's lots of fun things to do.
Let's do it.
Lots of
Absolutely,
fun things.
Let's do it.
Because either if you want to play the meme coins, you'd use moonbags where there's kind of like pump.fun essentially. And then of course you have yield farming.
Better.
And then you also have kind of games, and NFTs are pretty fun as well, actually. Yeah,
I'll send you some shock, Arborist. When you get your Slush wallet going, you just let Richie know your address, and I'll send you a bit of shock. And
yeah.
Lay that shock on me, baby. I ain't scared.
I have.
Okay, I'll give you.
I could send you like a huge gift bag of like a medley of all kind of meme coins, and even send you.
I'm gonna get the limited edition Wise DGen gift bag.
Well, there's actually
on a Friday night.
There's actually a Sui accelerator access pass. I can give you one. I don't know if Pace is still awake.
I can hit the accelerator and make sure I don't shard. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
shard happens anyway.
I'm still here.
Okay, so
Just don't
we
show
had
it.
we had an X account called Sui Accelerator. Unfortunately, it was suspended because of bots. But we made a Sui Accelerator access pass, and
Right.
it was only 25 Sui. And if you have it, you get airdropped coins from people that partner with us. And their barrier for entry is integrity, some sort of KYC, some sort of like, are you legit instead of a paid promo? Because we're tired of websites like, that will shill scam coins and stuff like that for payment. So
Right.
we were wanting to do the opposite of that. So with the NFT, you can be airdropped coins that we've already at least done somewhat of what we can do to see it and make sure they're legitimate as possible. It's not a guarantee, but then we also can support that coin, and any coins donated 100% go to the NFT holders. There's nothing at all is kept by Sui builders, is the X page now, but it's the NFT is called the Accelerator Access Pass. So I can give you one of those, and you'll start getting airdrops like Christmas. Every few days, it seems like Pace is dropping coins like crazy. Was there one today, Pace? I swear I saw something going off.
No, there wasn't one today. We did the last one a few days ago for Olo, but we've done it's been 12 airdrops so far, and then there's also been benefits for reduced mint prices for a number of NFT mints as well.
Yeah, I know. That what is the Goblins? They're finally launching on July 15th, I think, something like that.
Yeah, so we'll have a reduced mint price for Goblins as well.
Those look really cool, and the guy's brother works at Mist Labs. I don't know if I know he said that, but I don't know if he's trying to keep it a secret or not. But yeah, and Aquashock here, that was our first airdrop, I believe, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
That's right. Step up. We
And
had good, successful airdrop. Pace got them all out there.
Aquashock actually turned into like a blimp and flew over the entire world to do the airdrop. So, he also does our airdrops for us as his blimp figure in
I
the
just
video.
put some strings around my big air hot head, and off I go, floating around the world doing airdrops.
Nice.
Richie,
love that
when we
deployment.
talk, I've got some NFT ideas for Sui, man, that would be really cool.
Oh yeah.
You can definitely have some awesome NFTs. Like stuff you can do with NFTs on this network is crazy, and like sky's the limit.
Yeah, buddy. Like we can sit down and have a powwow and talk about how to best go about this. But I think just doing it live, and then we start from like basically we take like an hour, and then just be how to do this, how to do this, how to do this, how to do this, and then we'll figure it all out. Just do it live.
I am 100% down, sir.
Nice. I'll DM you, and then we can figure out what's your NFT ideas.
There is some in it in the real life job that I'm in. There's guys who want to do business cards, and there is a high demand for doing NFTs for different types of trees around the world. And it's to create unity amongst arborists throughout the globe.
That's a good idea. Because with Sui NFTs, what you can do is they can grow. Because if you take normal NFTs on like Binance Smart Chain or Ethereum or whatever, when you have the NFT, that's it. The image will look like that until you have to basically either point to another website with another image or burn the NFT and then make another NFT. But what Sui NFTs can do is they can basically evolve and grow, not just in how they look, but how their stats, the statistics are as well over time. So, for example, you could give someone a sapling, and the longer they hold it, it would develop into the kind of tree that, or the species it could be. It could even change. It could change over the seasons. Be quite cool.
Well, no, seriously, there is a genuine, real world need for educational material in this trade, and if you can adapt it into a digital NFT, and none of you crazy mofos better steal this idea.
No, we all know Crypto Arborist. It's his idea. No one steal his idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's going, trees are boring. Shut up.
I'm into AI. Unless you're talking about like an artificial intelligence tree, then it's all yours, buddy.
Well,
I
there is
want
an AI
the
tree.
arbutus. I want an arbutus tree NFT. That would be sick.
Let's do it.
That sounds fun.
Well, you guys know that the arborist, he has his own catchphrase. It's called thickquidity.
Liquidity,
And that's
sir.
what we're hoping to have. We're hoping to have that on the Sui decks and the Sui farm. Some thickquidity
Oh yeah,
there too.
we're gonna have thick liquidity on that.
It's that time of the season for liquidity to branch out and be everywhere.
SuiTrump, AquaShock, we're going to have very, very thick liquidity in Sui decks. That's guaranteed because we're going to have some lovely APR price pools and reward pools on Sui decks for SuiTrump and AquaShock. It's going to have
Richie,
one.
Yeah,
when
I got
you
a
say
question,
liquidity-
Richie. If we're
No, go ahead.
you go ahead, Iris. I'll ask after.
When you say liquidity, you have to lean into the mic and go
thickquidity.
Thank
That's
you,
what I was
sir.
waiting for.
Put a girl on liquidity. That's awesome.
I do have on the Jumbotron the link to the live YouTube session, so you can see more interactive stuff. You know, a lot of the times Richie will be checking out the projects, or he might be in the kitchen somewhere hanging out, but it's still more interactive than just the regular space. So, you know, that's up there. Crypto Mischief,
Yeah.
OG crypto channel on YouTube.
Donnie, what was your question?
Yeah, so partner tokens, AquaShock related.
Yeah.
On SweetX, if we're staking our AquaShock tokens, is that going to help the liquidity of SweetX? Does that go to the liquidity pool of SweetX? Is that the idea?
So it will help out your token a lot because it means you'll have a second liquidity pool, and then it will give all this the AquaShock holders somewhere to come and not just form liquidity with AquaShock, but earn really good APR on their tokens. So there's a handoff there because we want more volume through the decks and we want more TVL in the farm. So to do
yeah, because I want to know how. Because like it sounds like awesome deal for AquaShock. Great, I can give my good holders some utility and they can stake their coins and get victory coins. That sounds amazing. But then and then we help by creating volume on the decks. Is that it?
That's it, right? And attracting more TVL, and then a higher TVL then means that more people will notice that the DEX is growing, right? And getting larger. With a larger TVL, then more people feel more confident to put in more of their capital into the yield farm. With higher volume, then people feel more confident to add more liquidity because they know that they're going to get trading volume fees from adding liquidity. So it's a handoff for any of the projects that we're going to bring on and give them reward pools. It's not one-sided completely because it attracts more TVL to the DEX, and that's what we need for metrics. You know, you go to places like Radar, or no, what was it, DeFi Llama, sorry, and you want to see, you know, you go to Sui and you'll see, okay, which DEXs on Sui have the highest TVL. A lot of people will go to that site to then say, oh, this one has the highest TVL. I'm going to put my funds in there because high TVL equals safe and high TVL equals lucrative, right? So we need to.
Heck yeah, it's all about TVL.
Yeah, so we need to reward the token to people who want to give their tokens to us to secure and add to liquidity. But then also, you know, my next job now is that we've got all this discussion with the auditors out of the way, is now I need to start making all the infographics and strategies for people to use Sui decks in the right way. Because you're right, like the worst thing, the thing I don't want people to do is just farm, get victory token, sell victory token, put it back in the farm, sell victory token. Like we need to explain very clearly that there is a money loop system that you can use with victory to make lots more cash, which is by using our victory locker or the farm section or the single stake with your rewards. You want to be rotating it back round, essentially compounding. That is kind of like making your own vault or infinite money printing machine would be another way to say it, essentially with the reward system, with the reward economy that SuiDex offers. So that's my job now, is to make a lot of content on how you can pick your strategy, depending on how you want to farm.
That's the secret sauce there. Is that Richie is a specialist at the thing he's actually doing. That's what he does mostly on his channel. You know, these complicated processes that I still don't understand, but if you duplicate what he does, it seems to have money appear in the claim field every day.
Yep, this is the way. It's all about compounding, compounding and profit taking at a responsible level is the best way to earn in DeFi, because it means not only are you earning, but you know that other people are earning as well. And that's what makes the most successful platforms. They last the longest. And it means people coming in after you are also going to be attracting people after them. So for anyone who got into the private raise for SuiDex, they'll be especially happy to hear that, because they're like, oh, great. So that means I'm going to make money. People who didn't get into the private raise but want to join on launch, they'll be happy because they'll say, oh, because if I follow this strategy, then people are going to come in after me as well. And they're also going to make money. And people spread the word. And word of mouth is the best advertising for crypto. Is, oh, I'm doing really well with this. It's working really well. I think you should try it. And I'm like, all right, I'll try it too. And then you continue. It does sound like a Ponzi, but that's how crypto works a lot of the time. There's a huge, huge amount of Ponzinomics inside of crypto. We all know this, right? But this is how you have to educate and push people that if we all follow the same path, then it means that the sustainability of the platform and the reward structure continue to pay out for as long as possible. And that's what I want to try educate into SuiDex. We can do it.
Plus, Sui is growing rapidly. Sui is having incredible numbers of stable coins, new wallets made. They're crushing numbers. Like, people have got to look at more than just the charts. It's getting extremely popular. New projects being built. You know, Swarm Network were involved. They're having a partnership with Walrus. Yannick even said in the Telegram already, that's going to be awesome. So a lot of things to look forward to in Sui. And then if you have a DEX where the creator gives you their own breakdown of how to use it perfectly on their YouTube channel, and you've been doing it longer than Sui Network's even been a thing. So I would think it would be a better farm than even the ones that are available right now on Sui.
Yeah, but to be honest, man, YouTube is not where it's at anymore. Even now, right, we're live.
It still is a statement of your your integrity and your history. Yeah, even though
I'm not happy with YouTube. YouTube are constraining and strangling crypto content like never before. At the moment on YouTube, we have 8 viewers. On X, we have 130. And it's the same stream, right? And that's not even including how many people are in this space. This is on my socials. So it's like YouTube are strangling crypto content. They're for all crypto content creators. Like, it's just becoming a barren wasteland for even making content. It's just not worth it anymore.
Yeah, I recommend people switching to X, but Elon needs to catch up and get all the stuff working, because even people are leaving Twitch to come and stream on X because of the freedom
too, right? We wanted to get some Kick streaming happening.
Kick, I'm going to be doing that for sure. Kick is very open. You can do like anything you want on Kick.
I'm on Kick right now.
Illegal stuff, but
we're on Kick right now. Actually, let me see how many viewers we got.
Oh, are we? Awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
Bullish.
Hey,
nice.
Richie.
Yeah.
Once this gets rolling a little bit more, man, maybe we could do a co-stream and open it up to even more eyes out there.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do it.
More people need to know about Sui, that's for sure.
Yeah. Arbus, I think because the weekend for me is always pretty crazy, but maybe Sunday we can do the stream, which would be your or Monday morning for me would be your Sunday evening. That might work.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah. Because I know you like to
Arborist
likes to cut loose on the weekend as well. Get down to Gras.
Right. Yeah. One day we'll get you over here from Mardi Gras, Richie.
Oh yeah. Give me some Mardi Gras.
Follows. That's very kind of you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Paul the Arborist, he's, OG Crypto Mischief. I've been talking to him for a long time. And Aaron, he's super cool. Love Aaron. Because who is it? Brett Prince? I don't know. He never joins the spaces, but he's like, you guys need to tell Aaron to make on Sui. You got to make something on Sui. I'm like, maybe, one day, hopefully he does. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
An Aaron project on Sui. I'd definitely be in on that.
I'd be down.
Yeah. I mean, but obviously there's the language, because what is it? Solidity is for BNB.
Yeah, so Aaron is
Mm.
well trained in Solidity, so he's extremely fast with EVM. He can fork, modify, and launch in hours, like over an EVM. He's
Oh yeah,
he's the fork master.
I've seen it.
Yeah, but with Sui, you'd have to guess train up, but he's capable.
So it's not really transferable because I'm
No, it's not, no.
computer trained, but I learned OS and networking. I didn't like programming. I never learned it, so I don't know how well that transfers over. Like if you know Solidity, can you just pick up Move easily, or is it totally different?
It's totally different. It's like going from French to German.
Good
Yikes.
God, that's a choppy transfer.
Yeah, exactly. You'd have all the it's because at the moment I'm learning Sui Move, and it's completely just even the structure of everything and how you kind of how you import is completely different, and how you make things public.
Everything is an object.
It's not just
Everything is
about
an
that.
object.
It's about like the public and private, and also this like U64 or U128, and then you can morph them and change this. I mean, I'm building a basic NFT thing that's on a tutorial, and I'm like 80% of it done now. But then after that, I'm just gonna have to do another course because I didn't get it. Like I've been writing everything down. I've been trying to get through it, but I'm going through the courses and I'm passing the quizzes, but it's not sinking in enough. So I need to do another course afterwards, I think. Try get there.
What was
again.
that website again, Richie? It was like I was looking at
that one's
Sui.io.
Let's move Sui.com is the one I'm doing at the moment.
Let's move Sui.com. I'm gonna check that out.
That's all about making an NFT basically. That's why I chose it, because it's kind of fun.
But on the Jumbotron, Dunny?
Get it on that Jumbotron.
Yeah, I'll put up a couple things on the Jumbotron. One sec.
Oh, I found it funny. If you look up the official name, they call it the Nest. It's the X.com, the Nest. It's like, but everybody calls it the Jumbotron. Thought that was odd.
I've never heard the Nest before.
Yeah, because I was going through X.com actually is updating their terms of service, and I summarized it with ChatGPT, and it spotted something very concerning about suspending accounts. It's like basically we can suspend it for whatever we feel like it, and you have to deal with it. So that sucks, because I was hoping that would be improved instead of taken further. But maybe that means more human intervention and not relying on AI, because that seems to be the issue with the accounts getting suspended, because that's not fun. And we have another SCC member in the audience. That's cool. Medbits, Meme Coin Mobsters here. Richard, he's SCC member as well. Sui Cow, anyone Sui's awesome. Wow, Sui, sweet. If anyone has a project that you like on Sui and want to talk about it, you can request to be speaker. This is fully open mic, and you're live on YouTube and Kick and X as well, recorded. So
wow, everywhere.
Yeah, we're everywhere. That's the goal.
I'd like to talk about Pumpkin Token, which
yes.
Pumpkin Token.
So
Tell me about that.
So Pumpkin Token is a meme coin, but by holding different amounts of Pumpkin Token, you unlock their bot, which is a trading bot that links to an exchange called Bluefin. So Bluefin is the main trading dex, I guess, of Sui. And what you can do with Pumpkin, if you hold, I think it's 2 million Pumpkin coins, you unlock their trading bot, which is a huge interface.
They're quantum longs.
Yeah, it's called QuantFin Dex Algo, which is quite a mouthful. But essentially with it, you have really intuitive buttons which you can press to use their bot on a UI. So you can choose between safe, moderate, aggressive, yacht today, which is always a good one if you want a yacht. in one day. And then they
It's
have
comparable to the US version of YOLO. I
yeah,
guess
pretty
it's
much.
extra.
Then they have the new functions which I've been trying out, which are for me being much more profitable. So they have market making long, market making short, which say it's a ping pong strategy. I'm not really into trade. I'm a terrible trader, but by using these different buttons and they just select these strategies for me, I'm winning for once. Then they have market long only, market long, market short only. A bunch of these buttons now, more and more popping up. Fixed grid long, market making long. So what I've been doing is I've just been setting it on one of the buttons, which is market making long. So I'm essentially long on the market and sitting there. But I noticed that on this, if you put long, you're actually shorting. And if you put short, you're actually longing, which I didn't realize before, which is why I think.
Really?
Yeah. And I didn't realize that. And I think that's why I wasn't making much
And
money. But
something I think is important for you guys to know is that the guy behind that, the mastermind behind Pumpkin Token, his name is Tyler Simpson at Quantum Void Labs. He was the one that spotted the vulnerability in the CEDAS splash loan in March with receipts, proof. And he told them about it and they didn't fix it. And the hack happened and he's like, what the heck? And during the reply, they didn't even acknowledge that he was correct. They actually discredited him, which I thought was kind of shady. And because after the fact, it turns out he was exactly right. So he is a genius coder. I respect Pumpkin Token and what Tyler does a lot because Uber Geek vouched for him also. So that's why Pumpkin Token, I say, is definitely one of the S tier projects, like I've been putting in the SEC.
So I've made 40% gains in the past 7 days with this bot, which is very good. I've never had that.
There's a
Shardcoin and Shotcoin are both S tier 2. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, Dunny, you anyone that's in the SEC, what is it? What are the coins in the S tier? Which one? One of them's Aquashock, right? There's not very many in the S tier. Aquashock, and hopefully, if the intern can get here, he said he was going to come. But
is S tier like the poop tier, or it begins with S?
No. It's like, so YouTube videos, they have like breakdowns. S tier is the best,
like
the best, and then it has
I thought it was like beginning
and
with
then
S.
A tier, A tier, B tier, C tier. So S tier is like the best.
Yeah,
so
S tier is the best.
We got perfect timing. We got Board Toilet Club here. We were just talking about you, buddy.
Board Toilet Club. I love it.
Well, they're actually toilet dust. That's the Board Toilet Club is the NFT collection of toilet dust.
Way.
An intern is awesome. I love hearing from him.
I've been telling Arbus about toilet for about over a month now, right?
Dude, I'm ready to buy me a bucket of toilet dust. Let's do it.
Hey guys.
Hey toilet.
Yeah, so
Richie, be sure to check your inbox on Telegram if you don't mind.
Let me check it. How you doing, toilet? Is the intern right?
I'm doing great.
Hello, intern.
It's always a pleasure to be here. I'm glad I can make it. I just put our twins to sleep, so it's kind of a chill time and recharging because they wake up every like 2-3 hours at this age.
So intern, there's some new people here. If you could like kind of give a quick summary or overview of toilet dust before talking about the NFTs, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, the short story is we had this idea back in November of last year, and I've been around crypto for quite some time, and so I didn't want to just launch this anywhere because we wanted this to be as long term as possible. So we waited from November to March 21st of this year, and ultimately, I just believed that like Sui was going to figure it out in time and be a Solana Ethereum. Maybe not even in this bull run, maybe the next one. But I knew like time would catch up, and I kind of looked at Sui as a blue ocean. There wasn't any token like toilet or anything that was really kind of going on. I think statistically, there's only 5 tokens that have crossed 10 million market cap in the meme sector on Sui. So obviously really early. I know a lot of us probably have been on Solana, and 10 million market cap happens usually in the mornings to even new tokens. So we kind of knew what we were getting ourselves into, that like we'd have to build every single day, probably for months, if not over a year, before like mass market shows up. And that's kind of what we knew we were going to sign up for. And then the night we launched, Adeni, the co-founder of Sui, he basically tweeted at us at like midnight. I don't know what time zone he's in, but he basically take all my money. I'm not sure why he said that, but it got a lot of people's attention. Some people that bought off of his tweet probably made over 100x, because we went from zero.
Yeah.
We went from 0 to 7 million market cap in, I don't even know, maybe in a month and a half, 2 months. One thing kind of led to another, and the community started to grow. And the story on the NFT is, I just believe that doing this would actually help Toilet as the token, and would also get a lot of people that are in, ETH-based Solana to look at this ecosystem. And I've always kind of been in that mentality of like, what can I do to bring more people here? I'm sure you guys know, when Sui did the Phantom Wallet integration, it had a little bit of hype, but I don't think it was totally marketed to perfection, because it kind of came and went. And a lot of people on Solana still don't know that Sui exists, or that they can swap Sol for Sui, on Phantom Wallet. And we've done I don't know, maybe tier 2 exchanges so far for Toilet. Tier 1 doesn't make sense at this market cap. It will probably be on 10 million market cap. But I keep telling our team, like, right now, the play, in my opinion, is doing things to get people that already use Phantom Wallet to swap and kind of stay where they're comfortable at. Because to get people from Solana to download Slush, it kind of changes their behavior. So at first, if you don't have to change their behavior, I think it gets people here easier.
And intern, when Phantom Wallets first started supporting Sui, they didn't have the interoperability of changing from Sui to Sol, so it was kind of disappointing. And I didn't know they started doing it until you told me about it, because I was like, well, you couldn't do that before, but now you can. And that's makes a whole world of difference, that you can change from Sol to Sui now in Phantom.
Yeah, at one point you could go from Sol to Sui, but you couldn't go from Sui back to Sol. And so that was kind of interesting. And then finally they made the announcement that, it works both ways. But I think that's kind of like the time we're in right now. On the NFT side, it's been interesting, because I think doing a high price mint or a large collection as an NFT, where Sui stands right now, I don't want to say it's a mistake, but it's kind of a mistake in my opinion, just because this is not OpenSea. I think if you do a large collection or charge whatever, it can make sense. So we kind of made a decision to do, a decently low price mint, and try to get as many people to be able to mint on July 12th. And
July
then
12th. July 12th. That's the one.
Yeah.
Got to hit that home. I'm really
soon, yeah.
I'm really
Yeah,
excited. I can't wait. Really.
Thank you.
I really like the NFTs. If anyone who's listening, you need to go to the Board Toilet club, and you need to follow them, right? And then you also need to check out these NFTs they've designed. They are really cool. I love the characters. They're hand drawn. Each one has loads and loads of different, what they call traits. So many traits on each one, like massive character. I can't wait. July 12th.
Thank you.
July 12th. Man.
I really like the hand-drawn aspect of it too. They look really organic. The artist team have taken their time. It's not just another run-of-your-mill cat with a hat. It's a really cool, unique hand-drawn NFT collection, and it's going to be really revolutionary for the Sui blockchain. I'm excited.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was kind of a risk, like using board in the name. I think we had to do it this way if it wasn't going to come across, cheesy. And Ada Indonesia, some of you might have heard from them on our spaces.
Yeah.
The first thing they said was that they were going to do 130 trades by hand, and it was going to take 3 months. And when we had that conversation, NFTs were just kind of like booming on Sui. I think it was like Doonies had just kind of, made their way, and others. And so 3 months seemed like a lot of time, but like, I just believe that if you take the time to build a good product, even in a down market, like the community will be, they'll show up. And so, it'll be exciting. I think tomorrow, because of the 4th of July, and we have 1-year-old twins, that I think they're going to go to the pool for 2 hours. Might be like the longest time I've been away from my phone since March when we launched. But it's also important to have a life at the same time, right?
100%.
They'll be okay, intern. You've been grinding for 4 months, doing 2 spaces a day. You deserve to have Independence Day with your family for 2 hours. They're gonna be okay.
Thanks. Yeah, it's important. I mean, transparently today, my wife's like, "You're really calm. Like, you said, you're all right?" And I was like, "I think it's just caught up to me, all these months." And so I think I took a nap for an hour.
And intern, that was the first Discord space I've ever been on like that. I hadn't seen that layout before. It's kind of cool. That was a nice, space you had, more in depth, and just for transparency, like somehow, intern and Dr. Ari stumbled upon this very space. It was a Sui Builders episode, like way back when, months ago, and talked about their new coin. And I, for transparency's sake, I've spoken with both Dr. Ari and intern on the phone, on their actual phone numbers, face-to-face video calls. They're real people. They're putting in the work. They're showing up every day. Dr. Ari is a real doctor, best-selling author. They're freaking awesome because they're bringing more people to Sui, and that's the best part for me. You guys are killing it.
Thanks. It's the only way, like Toilet. Part of the intention of Toilet was so that it would turn heads. And for those of you who are kind of new here, when we launched, like a lot of the OGs did not like us, and they didn't know us personally at all. But they kind of like are pretty tight, right? Like some of them are in a group, and they kind of want to protect the house. And I just kept telling Ari, I was like, we got to earn our respect, and like, don't take it personal. Because it's not personal, like they don't know who we are and what have you. And so we just kept building. And, sometimes I think if some people don't support you, it can kind of get to you. But we just kept building. And then over like 3 months, like every week, one of the OGs would send us a message privately and say, "Hey, like you guys are actually all right in my book," or, you guys, keep going like crazy. You're all over the timeline. And so like it kept getting better and better over time, but because there wasn't
an intern,
like
I gotta
Toilet,
admit, I'm guilty of being one of the people that were like skeptical at first, and then you guys totally proved your worth. Like I was like, oh, you guys are awesome, I'm so glad we worked through it. Yeah, it's so it's awesome story. It's like the best story ever.
Yeah, Wise and I, like, we did not see eye to eye in the beginning, by any means, and there was like miscommunications and whatever, and it also came together early as well. Like we kind of hashed it out, and I don't blame people. Like Toilet definitely was a lot different than the Axles, Lofi's, Blubs. There wasn't that many when we launched, and now you have Shardcoin, I think Fartcoin. Aquashock, you probably launched right after us, right?
We did. Yep. You guys were a big brother on Move Pump.
Does anyone use Move Pump anymore?
Just us,
we
apparently.
First
but
on
we're good projects. So I haven't even been to the website to check it out. I should go right now. I don't think so.
Shart, you said you launched on Move Pump?
Yeah, we had originally launched on Move Pump. But it's pretty dead now. The team hasn't posted in like 4 months on socials.
Yeah, Moonbag is won first place in the Sui overflow, like the hackathon. So they pretty much like taken over. It's all about Moonbags now. They have a lot of options.
Yeah,
And
no, Move
the
Pump looks
owner,
totally dead. That Siamese cat that was like battling me for bonding, they're still like half bonded.
man, in October of last year, it was like Move Pump was just insane. When Richie launched SuiTrump was wild. Sui was something else back then, totally different. But it was fun. And yeah, interns, constant, being in contact and being level-headed and talking with me and staying in communication, that was excellent. And, we made a lot of cool things happen. I'm so glad to be, worked everything out with you and working together to bring Sui more popular, more people to Sui, because you guys do awesome job. And I love how Dr. Ari just, everything is like full bore, 100%, like, oh, you might be able to save money here. He's like, no, let's just get the best of the best of the best. It's like, I love his drive is amazing.
Well, I think like the way that we think is like if you have the ability like to not have to sell your token or give your token away, because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like in the first week, we gave tokens, whether it was like a KOL or two or what have you, and they would just dump it like that second. And then I called Ari and I'm like, there's no way we're gonna make it and have supply ourselves to like build this long term if we're gonna operate this way. And so I'm like, we can't like rely on anyone. It's just gonna be our work ethic. And then that was the beginning of like working around the clock every day, because I didn't want to work hard and the community grow and like trust us and believe in us, and then all of a sudden the charts tanking because we're paying people in toilet. And so if we did anything, we would pay people in Sui or USDC, even if people would say, hey, like would you give us toilet, because I knew what the end result was going to be. I'm also not the person who would ever give tokens and be like, you can never sell, right? It's not, I always say like our community is not prison. But that's kind of what helped us retain tokens, like, as a team, to continue. And it's always like these kind of things I think about, because it's really easy to make a few decisions, especially if you're partnered with someone. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, we don't have a healthy supply anymore to keep going.
And there was something bullish you said earlier on the Discord about the people that have the access passes. I'm not sure if you want that to be public information or is that Discord only about the mint?
Yeah. So I'm always about like, what can we do to give back to the community? Because at the end of the day, they ride with you, right? And they're always going to have other reasons to like go elsewhere, different chain, different token. And a lot of this space is fleeting. Like most people aren't in a community for that long. And so we basically launched an NFT collection, only 100, maybe like 2.5, 3 months ago, called the Toilet Club Alpha Pass. And we gave it away to the top 100 holders for free. And the interesting thing, and this is always, again, my belief, like you add value, like the market will show up. And the day after we launched, the first sale was for $1,800. So I don't know, at the time that might have been like 200-300 Sui or something like that, or more. And that kind of just told me that people understood like what was coming, utility wise from that pass. And the long story short is I was like kind of broke in 2017, and I invested $1,000 in a mastermind group. And the guy that was running the mastermind group, who I didn't know this when I joined, but he was in like $100,000 entry mastermind group. And he was taking the information that he was learning in that group and basically teaching it to those who paid 1,000. And long story short, he basically started to research utility tokens that had like huge money and exchanges behind them. So what typically happens with utility tokens, like a XLM, XDC, a Velo, SHX, like some of these tokens, they suppress them like both on social media and in price, but their backers are everyone from like Amazon to FedEx to crypto.com, Coinbase, Binance. And there's ways to basically find these things out. And if you do, you essentially front run big money. And by time, I'll just give you an example. Like one of the tokens that in 2017 that he had given us to do research, and whoever bought was FTM, which is Phantom, not the PH Phantom, but FTM, which is now Sonic. And I think he gave it to us at 0.001. And
I know Richie knows about FTM and Sonic for sure.
Yeah,
that's pretty cheap.
yeah. It wasn't overnight. It was like, God, it was years, like 2-3 years probably that I held for, and it ran to about $3.84. So just to give you an example, at 0.001, $1,000 is 1 million tokens, and 1 million tokens times the top, which I round tripped about 70% of that 3.8 million that I had. Which was a huge lesson for me of greed, euphoria, the whole thing, right? It was kind of like my lesson. First lesson wasn't the last lesson, but first lesson in crypto. And I think when you look on a screen, you don't realize how life-changing something could be until the bear market comes, and it basically went from like 380 to 17 cents, I think. And so
I wrote that too. Damn it.
Yeah.
I'm still holding, actually. I still hold all my.
Yeah, no, they're a great team. I mean, Stellian Balta, he's a billionaire investor, and Hyperchain Capital is his firm, and I believe they'll do very well. But yeah, so that was just like one of the calls, and I basically wanted to take that concept because I love like, especially at night, doing research. Another one that I saw maybe a month and a half ago was ZBCN, Zebek, and they're kind of working on payroll to where like you how like you work and you get paid bi-weekly. They basically like built a technology where it'll make sense for companies to pay like basically the same day that you work. So like you work Monday, you'll get paid for Monday. You work Tuesday, you get paid for Tuesday, type of thing. And that token was at like, I don't know, 3 zeros and a 7. Someone can pull up the chart and correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe like a month, 2 months ago, and everyone was fudding it. But with the research that we do, the people that have invested in it is like Coinbase Ventures, Solana Ventures, and within like, I don't know, maybe like 5 days, it went up like 500%.
Nice.
And so I say all this to say that like with Toilet in the community, and even the Sui community, because I always say like it's not about just holding Toilet, but with the alpha passes, like one of my intentions is to like bring this research to the holders and allow them to do their own due diligence and research. But one of the things that I've always loved since I was a kid and when my dad left my family was like finding a way to become financially free so I would have choice in life. And I'm like really passionate about helping people in this space who may have never like had the ability to like leave a job and like travel the world or like go do what they actually love. And I want to do it outside of also just like with our token and with the NFT, because I know with like our work ethic, like I believe those will be successful. But also like it's cool to contribute and add value outside of that as well. And so,
intern, I wanted to ask you about that because you missed the starting of the space. Richie has come a long way with the hackathon and actually has a company that is sponsored or associated with the Sui Foundation and increased the prize for the for finding the bugs. And I love that you like helping other projects and people expand, because he's been working on this DEX for 7 months, and I think it'd be awesome any way you could help out with that. And I don't know if you have any quick summary, Richie. Maybe you want to let them know about the new updates compared to before.
Am I live? Yeah, sure. So we took some time to find the right auditor. Basically, we were going to do a public kind of testing before we launched, but then we instead talked with Hackenproof, who are a tier 1 auditor, and they're going to be running a competition, auditing competition essentially, for a $10,000 prize pool. It's going to be co-marketed with Hackenproof, which I'm really happy about. They're the official auditor for Sui. And yeah, so that'll run. And then after we're done with the competition, all of the hackers are going to find all the bugs, if there are any. And then after that, we're going to launch. So it's about a 3-week runway now until go time, essentially. We're going to start.
And we want some toilet dust on the farm.
Hey man,
With
anything you guys need.
We're gonna get toilet on the farm. Don't you worry about that. We'll talk like
Nice.
I said before though. Like once we're done through the audit phase, and then we can talk about it. That's the way I want to do, because otherwise it's everything has to just be done in the right ways, because then there's no confusion. Because I know, like, for example, right, I've never DM'd Ari or Toilet Intern anything about SuiTrump or toilet related, because I know that the decks that I'm making is not at the point where I can comfortably then say, oh, this is the code, this is the audit, this is completely safe, right? So it's important for how I launch things that I don't, because running projects myself, it's the last thing you want is you connect with someone and then something happens outside of your control. And then you're like, oh, wait, we just partnered with these guys, but these guys fucked up. And now like we have to deal with it. It's the worst thing that can ever happen to a project. If you
that's the worst feeling, or you bring someone in and promote them, and then
and then it all goes wrong.
Happens,
right?
Yeah.
Like this is
Richie's integrity level is like unbelievable. Like literally the most absolute purest integrity I've ever seen in crypto. Anyone.
Well, it's
like,
actually
that's for real.
it's the same values that I know that Intern has as well, because he spoke before. I think it was the last time you spoke, and like when you first started up Toilet and you were pairing up with other projects and coins and things, and then something happened, something didn't go to plan, right? And then not only does that project get affected, but Toilet also got affected. This has happened to me as well with SuiTrump. When we first launched, we paired up with one token and then they rugged. We were like, fuck, like our buyers bought that token. And then, of course, but I don't want to say their name. But then because of that, then they start selling our own token and start losing faith in us because we chose the wrong people to essentially partner with, right? Or to co-promote with. So I'm also very aware of this. So that's why I'm waiting for the audit. Once the audit's clear, then the next stage is, of course, onboarding more partner coins and things that we can get like the most hyped and safe and secure launch with, because everything's got to be done with the most transparency and also the best hype for each coin, because we don't just want to onboard all the coins at the same time and then everyone's like, oh, I don't know which one to choose. It's got to be like, okay, now you can use this coin, and that coin gets like the attention, and then we can have fun with it and make it more customized to whatever that project wants to do. Like that's the big plan. So
and it brings you utility to the original SuiTrump coin with the buy and burn mechanism that's built into it. I think it's awesome to add actual utility to the meme coin that got everything started.
Is to continuously add volume to SuiTrump, no matter what's happening inside of SuiDex. It's all about that as well. Buy and burn that baby, definitely. But yeah, but that's basically update. We're almost Monday. The audit competition begins, and then it will run, and then from there it's launch phase. Yeah, so excited. But before that, we have the NFT launch of the Bored Toilet Ape Club, the Bored Toilet Club, which
it's the 12th. The NFT launches on the 12th,
July 12th. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, when we I don't know if you guys saw Van's tweet tonight. We basically hired Van and his dev team because of a few reasons, but one, they built a custom contract in the event that we ever want to do take Bored Toilet Club into a game on Sui Play or do dynamic NFTs, which I don't think we will with this collection, but at least having the ability to do it is a plus.
You could do such cool games with these characters though. Like
I honestly I have no clue. Like Ari's dream is like, he's always like, even as a kid, he's like wanted to create his own game. So I think if we ever get to that point, it's going to be him pushing it. But yeah, I mean, it would be kind of funny. I think someone sent me some like famous game that has to do with pirates in a boat on like PS, or I forget. But I guess never say
There
never,
was an
right?
Assassin's Creed that was all about the boats. I think Blackwater, I think it was called. I never played it.
I put on the Jumbotron the July 12th. Make sure to get yourself one of those NFTs. They're really awesome. You have previews already of them.
But there's also if you hold a Dooney, you also get into a whitelist phase, I think, for July 12th as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're I think I'm waiting on a few others. Like
Nice.
we did one for DeLorean, which is pretty epic the way that one turned out.
That's right. We were talking about that earlier. We wanted to ask you about that because Richie and people were asking about DeLorean, and you said you just talked with him. So we'd love to know more about that.
Yeah, so it's kind of started with Arthur Toscano, who's like one of their ambassadors. He was making like DeLorean toilet type of AI images that were like incredible, and then it led to Dream Media, who he was kind of one of the first guys. I think he had like the #1 community and website for SHIB, and obviously that was a big community and pump during that bull run. And so between them both working with DeLorean, we kind of built a relationship with them, and then ended up on a space with Evan, the president, and then just started seeing how we can help them because obviously they were launching DMC. And then
that's what I think people want to know more about. What do you know about the DMC coin? Because I know when it first launched, like it just tanked because I think from the pre-sale, people just dumping. But does it have potential? Like, are they like putting work into making that coin successful? Do you think?
Yeah. So when you're first to do something in general, it's tough. But I think communication is the biggest key. Like, if I had to say one thing that I've just seen in the last 3 months of the amount of people who mint NFTs and they're so excited, and then it's like Project X mints out, but then next thing you know, you look on the timeline and people are fudding it who were so excited like 10 hours before because they don't understand what they minted, right? And so which is like a disservice to like I don't want to name any projects, but like to a lot of these good projects who have like pretty big teams and they put a lot of money into it. But the crazy part is like a lack of understanding from your community could make the nicest art, best mint, best project, like just get completely fudded on the timeline because people take it on X versus like send a message. And so, I think just like a few days ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, my whole timeline was, about Claynosaurus, high price mint. And I'm reading all this and I'm like, I honestly think, people minted out of like excitement, but then as the collection size went up to whatever it was, 20, 30, 40,000,
25,000.
25,000.
Yeah.
And then people are like, is this going in a TV show? Is it going in a game? Like they just don't know. And then that's where I see the biggest problem. And so with DeLorean's launch, when you do an airdrop, that's going to happen. And so, initially you kind of see a dump because free money, most people just dump it. And then if you give a percentage of a supply to like Binance, like they're probably going to do the same thing. So I had to learn the hard way. Richie, you probably, I don't know if you remember like ICO phase back in 2017.
Yeah, definitely similar.
Yeah, but like during that period, you'd get in a ICO, and you'd have to go through all these loops to buy the token before it ever goes public, and you'd be all excited. But then when it hits like the exchange, it tanks, and then people that weren't in the ICO get a better price than you, right? So, but I will say DeLorean, like they recovered. I think they went up like what, I don't know, 80, 100% or something like that after it kind of went down.
They recovered a lot, yeah, because I was getting mixed signals, and I'm like, who's correct? Some people are saying it rugged, some people are saying it's the best time to buy. So I was getting confused, but from what I gather, it seems to be, it's actually a good thing to invest in. Like it's not just
So-
it wasn't just a rug.
Who can
It
tell
was
me?
like a early sell-off.
Who can tell me what is the point of the token? And there's NFTs and tokens, right? Like,
Yeah, I want to ask about the NFTs that I got in my
And a
wallet.
car.
Can I do anything with them? I get in a race with them or something.
I've no idea. I want like, why can you buy a DeLorean car with the tokens? Is that what the aim
That's
is?
the question. That is the question. In 2027, can
Uh-huh.
you order a DeLorean for real, buy it with the DeLorean token? That's the real ask.
Or is there a
Well,
game? I don't know.
The question that I asked Evan
Yeah.
on the space was, I think the car is valued at like 300,000, if I'm not mistaken. And so I was like, do you see more people, that are out of Web3 buying the car, right? Because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but how many people, in Web3 do you personally know that have that kind of money that would buy it, right? And
Nobody.
and so he kind of gave a good answer. I think, he said, yeah, he sees a mix of both, but definitely people that might not be, on Sui, for example, at least yet. And then, he said a couple of things. Like I remember him talking about that Ferrari does almost 50% of revenue from their merch compared to their cars. And
Dang.
That's
yeah.
a really interesting fact. That's interesting as heck.
Yeah. And he's like, because there's only so many, cars, he's like, they basically bank on their merch that like the average person can afford. And so I think he was kind of alluding to them coming out with some merch and really pushing that, I'm sure. And
Well,
then
what do you know about the time capsules?
the time, so I'm pretty sure all of them got airdropped. Anyone, Aqua, did you get airdropped?
So I got airdropped the like cards that have like the 888 speed thing up the top, but
Yeah.
I think that's different than the time capsules, which were free mints that I heard about that. Do you know what the cards versus the time capsules and those the 888 and the laps, and you sign up here and you do quests and you take your car around the lap and you stay in the race and you get more airdrop? And I don't know if that's over yet. Or
We
not.
need to get to the developer on a Sui Builders episode. We need to question this guy. We can help him out probably.
I have a lot of questions. I really do for this project because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my point. It was so intricate with the laps and the race and connecting to Galaxy, I think it's called. That I think even some people that got airdropped really didn't participate or even claim their tokens because they're like, I don't know, connecting my wallet, and it kind of seemed like work.
That was me. It was just like a bridge too
Yeah.
far, but maybe that's a good thing for them. I don't know, but it was cool.
Yeah, and then they have the basically the NFT where it gives you the ability to buy the car. They call it's like the slots. And so I think like the cheapest one is like 2,500. I think last I checked, and essentially like if you buy it, what a lot of people are doing that like won't buy one most likely is they're just gonna flip it for a gain, right? Like on the floor. And so they also turned that into an NFT as well.
Interesting.
So the time
So you
cap.
have to have like multiple NFTs to buy one then.
So looking down
You just
Tradeport,
need-
right? So we have the time capsules are the highest volume one, but does that mean that these time capsules now have no use case, or they do have a use case?
That's a good question. I remember. I think their CEO on the space was like, "We're not an NFT, like or an NFT brand or something like that." And I didn't know exactly what he meant because obviously I think it's an NFT. But I think one of the biggest things is going to be the ability to get the merch, probably if you're a holder, the ability to go to their events, and maybe some privileges. If actually, I think he did say that there'd be privileges and access if you're a holder. I think with them, like the timeline of the car being ready in like 2-3 years, I think they're going to do things like merch, like events, and build community around other ways that they can monetize. I did think it was interesting that they said, when someone does have the car, they'll earn DMC as they drive.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So, I'm not sure if someone's going to want to put so many miles on that car because it's so nice, but we'll see.
I'm going to lease one. I'll put miles on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know early on, Miston Labs themselves were really hyping up this, project. So it wasn't like, when Miston Labs, puts that effort into it, it gives me more confidence in them. So I feel like, they're going to do correct by Miston Labs, because I'm sure Miston Labs is helping them back.
So essentially, if you want to get in on DeLorean, then the best idea would just be buying the token then and not paying attention to the NFTs.
Well, you need their NFT, the one that's like $2,500, which reserves you a slot to buy because they're only going to release so many. So the only way that you can buy it is essentially if you have the slot reserved by holding that pass.
Or the DeLorean build slot. There's only 1,002. Have you got one of them?
No, not yet. I know Ari has been saying we should get one.
Right.
He's actually one that actually might buy it. He's in that category.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that.
He's not shy to spend money, so he definitely might do that. But
he might have 10 of them already at this time.
But for me, I mean, I don't know. I think I'd probably hold it, and maybe if someone actually wanted to buy it, I don't know. I don't even care. Like even the NFTs that I buy, like I bought like 50 Doonies at one point, and I don't know if I'll ever sell them. I believe in Van and what he's doing, and I just never check. Like when I invest and believe in people, I just like set it, forget it, and we'll look at it maybe in 6 months.
I can say something about Van is I've been in Sui a long time. He did Doonies very, very slow and calculated everything. He was on Spaces with Chop, where I started out back in the day doing Spaces in December and January, just hinting at what he's doing, just slowly building. Like he took his time, and he said the number one recommendation he gives the people thinking about doing NFTs is taking your time. And so I think that's why he was so successful, is he really planned it all out, and did not do anything in a hurry whatsoever. So that's one thing I can definitely say about him.
Yeah, and I see Kataro here. I haven't had a chance to introduce myself. Actually, I might have sent you a DM, Kataro. I know Wick, the guy who does our marketing right now. He sent you a DM because we made a pretty cool one-of-one Prime Machin that we haven't shared yet. But I follow Kataro's tweets a lot because
Me too, yeah.
Because I respect someone who will protect their brand and community. And that's something that we had to learn. Like I think I told you guys last night, we tried to do the right thing and help people when we came to Sui because we didn't really know anyone, and we're trying to just help and support. And essentially, after Ari made a tweet, someone was like, "That's that guy's third project in like 1 month." And so as soon as that happened, I called Ari and I'm like, I guess we got to take a big step back and just get to know people over the course of maybe a few weeks before we ever do that again, because it's obviously a reflection of us. And so you kind of live and learn. But every time I see Kataro, I mean, what Studio Mirai does is unbelievable. But I can always appreciate protecting the brand, because that's no joke when you're trying to do something long term, especially.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. It sucks when good projects, partner or collaborate with another project out of good faith, and then that other project just goes south. It's like, that's really like extra devastating, because to the community and to another project that's actually doing good. So I hate to see stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, like, this space is so interesting in the fact that there are good people that launch projects with good intentions, but a lot of them might not have like a marketing background, or they just might not be well funded. Like a lot goes into something being successful in this space because you're not going against like competition in the business world. You're going against like wars or hacks or black swan events and things that are also out of your control. And so there's a certain element of like, you know, being prepared for all of the above. In our case, you know, we got so lucky. So some of you who might be new here as a meme token, this is probably good to hear. We basically had a 1.5 million LP when we were a 3 million market cap token, right? And so it was like a really good thing, but then, you know, the LP was generating 40, 50,000, you know, per day essentially. And we were basically putting it back into the token. And, you know, in hindsight, we should have done like maybe like a 50-50 or, you know, a 60-40 and gone into like stables in the event of things happening. So we basically, you know, hit 7 million market cap. And in a way, it led to basically becoming like exit liquidity, right? Because we went from, you know, 200,000 market cap to 7 million within days. And so, you know, there was just things in the beginning that we didn't know what we didn't know, and luckily it didn't harm us. And then with the CETA situation, we had a pretty large LP. I think some meme tokens that were over 30 million market cap had the same LP as us at like 2 or 3 million. But our whales in our community were basically like, you know, the larger the LP, the harder it is for the price to go up. And someone said like green candles cure all. And so like, I think it was like 10 hours before the CETA situation, we had a call with like some of our whales in our community, and we decided to agree to remove some of the LP so that we could see if, you know, what they were saying was accurate, allow the chart to breathe and go up or whatever. And then the CETA situation happened, and Ari calls me, I think at like 4 a.m. my time, 7 a.m. his time. He's in New York, I'm in LA. And he's like, you know, CETA got hacked. And
that was devastating. It was the same day Bitcoin reached an all-time new high, and the first time in forever. And it was at 420. Sui, killer.
Yeah. Sui had so much momentum. I think it was like, you know, I don't know, could have gone to 5 and above.
I think so too.
And then I think ultimately we ended up having like $30,000 that was a part of the hack. But it could have been much worse because at the time it was like over $1 million in the LP. And we brought it back down to, I don't know what it was, 100,000, 150. You know, and then the war happened, right? So just in the 3-4 months that we've been here, a few things have happened that you know, partly we got lucky that we removed a lot of the LP, but I'm glad everyone got made whole. And then you just gotta roll through the punches, because like I said, you know, you kind of handle what's in your control, and then what's out of your control. You also
I just want to say quickly that like this is the side of, I think, deving that doesn't get talked about a lot. You spoke earlier on controlling your supply, LP ratios, looking at market factors. Like it's almost just as important as the coding and the building is the managing of the token and that dev side of it. So I think I like listening to you talk about that. That's a lot of cool experience.
Yeah, this is golden stuff right here.
Totally. I agree with what's been said here. The first part was about getting on calls to promote your token. So I'll tell you right now, from all the calls that we've used with SuiTrump on Sui for getting people to talk about the token, for the ones which I've given SuiTrump to, they have immediately sold it within 1 hour of making their calls, right? I watch it on chain.
I did one. Go look at my chart. You can go.
Oh yeah, but you
look and just tell me where you think it was.
Yeah. So for these are the KOLs. So they would be the guys that, oh, can I cover your token? I love what you're building. Blah blah blah. Oh, I'll take it for this much. So we tried it 3 times with SuiTrump. Was enough for me, because each time we did it after 1 hour. Oh, one guy took 24 hours until he sold his entire bag in one clip. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give you USDC. So give them USDC. You think, oh, well, I love your project. I'd love to cover it. Okay, well, here's some USDC. You'd think maybe they buy some of the coin because they love it so much. No, they just cover it. And within a day or two of after covering, then that's them moved on to the next thing, trying to extract money from the next community. So in terms of calls, KOLs, definitely, unless you can find people that who are your true friends, which I luckily have in this space, and it's people who work with me, not for me, to promote what we're building, then it's just not worth it. Unless you really do just want to build that kind of marketing presence, and you're happy to have your holders of your coin just lose value.
Well, Richie, you know, the Radar bot, I originally got linked up with Radar and
that's
Munes
great. Yeah.
for toilet dust. I was the one that purchased the Radar Pro, and then I thought it was so cool. And then I had you come in and get one for you. And because of that, Radar actually implemented Sui as one of the coins that you can be paid out in their XP. That wasn't a thing before Toilet and SuiTrump.
I prefer Radar.
I thought that was awesome.
Because with Radar, it's you're running campaigns for, like, we have one running right now for a week. We have 10 million SuiTrump tokens, which is about $300, right? So the other option would be then you give that $300 worth of your token to one person who's going to be a KOL on Twitter, and they're going to make tweets and try and attract people to look at your token. But you know, as soon as you send those tokens to that one guy, he's going to sell it all in one clip in an hour, right? It's a given. Just expect it to happen because they're going to do it. And then with the Radar, what you're doing is you're sending those $300 of SuiTrump to 500 people who are getting different amounts of tokens on their XP. Now, what are the chances that all 500 people are going to sell the token in one clip? They're not. You're going to have half the people probably like the token. They want to stack more, so they're going to keep it. Some of them are going to put an LP.
You'd be a net positive for sure. I agree with that. That's
exactly. Cool. Yeah, and I watch it whenever we send out the last one was 10 million. We sent out like about a week ago. I watched it. I was watching on the chart to see who's selling, who's not, and it was overall most people are just like, oh, I'm going to keep this, because if you break it down, $300 to 500 people, it's going to be a couple bucks each. So maybe some people might get $10 if they've been really going hard on the rating, but a lot of people are not in it for just lining their pocket immediately. They're enjoying the experience and being part of a real community and working together. People like that. So I agree completely with that. It's completely useless just using these vampiric, malicious KOLs who just want to sell your coin. They just want money. Like, you might.
Jeez, Richie, tell us how you really feel about it.
No, it's because I've been in this. I've been in this since what 2020, 2019.
I know. I've been there.
I've worked as a call.
Name all probably dozens of the really famous ones.
I've been given money by projects.
Intern, I was wondering, are you using the XP system that comes with the Pro Radar? I never asked you about that.
Honestly, Ari handles that side of the business, so I'd have to ask him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm sure it's optional too. I don't think you have to do it, like participate in it. The main thing about getting the Pro bot is that it's a custom bot. It's an actual like custom made bot. It's not just the Radar bot. So that's why it's cool, because it has its own avatar and stuff. Like, I blended the Radar and the toilet together to make the avatar. That came out really cool. And Munes from Radar, he's really awesome. Like, he'll go in the Telegram and fix the bot for you. And they're even like wanting to do more work with Sui now because of Toilet Dust and SuiTrump. Like, you guys swayed their attention to Sui, so I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, they're loving it. It's good. That bot is so much better than using the X account guys. I don't know. They just boil my blood. They get me all riled up. It's just
the
annoying.
The engagement with SuiTrump is just really effective. Like, when I'm just cruising X, I'm seeing like all the engagement, and it looks like just really good organic engagement that you have going for it. It's pretty cool.
It is incredible. Like, I will make a post, and in less than 10 minutes, there'll be 200 reshares, replies. Yeah, it's like immediate. I've never seen engagement like that before.
And the replies are decent too. They look like they're written by like half real people. Like, they look good.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of bots, and that's what I look for. Who's putting custom like actually saying something specific. Because I have, a wallet that Richie supplied coins with that can get extra credit that don't have any like set definition for people to try and, just hack the money. I look for people that are actually doing, like really trying to go the extra mile and support the project, and I'll send them an airdrop, like a tip, so that gives people extra motivation as well. And also, Richie, you can remove XP from their bots, right? You can.
It takes a couple hours because we have so many users on it, like over 500. It's a couple hours of bot detecting. Like it's grueling work sniping all these bots, but it's got to be done. Sniped out. Maybe it's something.
Well, Radar should try and figure out a way to incorporate that in their own system. I think, but I'm not sure how it works on the back end and all that. But
I think
they
could make an easier way of sniping people. Yeah, I think that'd be quite fun. That'd be a nice addition to it. And then the other thing that Board Toilet was talking about was about the handling your supply as well, which is also super important. Like there's
I'd like to hear your 2 cents on that. Oh, I should have just shut up and listened. Go ahead.
It's exactly what I did with SuiTrump. It's like when we launched, I realized as we were bonding, and I didn't expect we were going to bond at all, that I only had like 2 or 3% of the supply. So I had to just start buying on the bonding curve, because you need 10 to 20% of the supply of the coin in your own control. And plus then you need the liquidity, in my opinion. Not because you want to sell on your holders, but because by having that amount of coin, if the coin does get successful and start moving up into the $1 million market cap, then you are able to then use that coin as your leverage for the project, right? It becomes super important to be able to not only control the supply of the coin by holding it in essentially a locked treasury, right? But then also by having such a large, because if you have a $10 million coin and then you have 20% of the supply, that how much firepower do you then have for bringing that coin to the next levels, right? And it means you're not even having to make barely any dent in the chart by saying, okay, I need to extract $2,000 from this because it's a $10 million market cap. Okay, now I'm at a point where I can actually afford to run this as a business. If you randomly got to that amount of market cap, but you didn't have enough supply, then you would never be able to get to the next level with it. It would be
or if you get approached
impossible.
by a central exchange or somebody, and they're like, "Hey, we need 5%,"
exactly.
And you're like, "Oh, well, now I'm at 10 million and I own 3%.
Yeah.
What the heck am I gonna do?"
Let me just drop.
But the flip side of that is, you got to sit on top.
You got to drop another 100K to buy your own token.
I'm very similar mind with that. I must have listened to your YouTube channel a good amount back then, because I feel the same way.
Yeah, and
Take notes, Aquashock. I'm relying on your project to do well.
Well, you can trust me to have good. Well, I'm learning to code, and I have excellent supply management, and I have it, and you can look at it, and I own about 25%.
Nice.
They were locked for 6 months. They are unlocked right now. They are safe, of course. So those are going to be used. I'm kind of waiting on the SuiDex launch, and then to see if I'm going to relock the tokens or if I'm going to burn some tokens. If SuiTrump starts burning, maybe I can get some hype with that, or if I can stake 5% over there and relock some. I just want to keep my options open. But by having a good amount of the supply, it gives me the power and the control to do that. And I think that's one of the most important things for a project.
I always like to point out too, when credit's due, Dunny's a really good person. I consider him my good friend. He's probably the closest friend I've made, like on the internet through crypto. He's makes like weekly selfie videos of himself walking his dog, in the lake, in the trees. He's a really cool guy. I trust him 100% to do the right thing, because I know he would never do the wrong thing. He's a really good guy. So,
well, I think if you just act decently in the crypto space, consistently and decently, then you're going to separate yourself from the 30 other launches that happen every week.
Yeah,
so that's my motto.
Exactly. The thinking man's coin.
And it was on one of these spaces that you introduced yourself, right? You came on a builders, and we were like, yeah, this guy's awesome. Richie was already buying your coin like in the first 5 minutes of your speech, I think.
Yep, I was lucky to run into you guys. I mean, now we're chatting about me a little bit, but I used to watch Richie's videos back on BNB chain because I came from Ethereum and then to BSC, BNB. And then I ran into them here and we got to chatting. And the one thing I like about Sui is that there is a lot of new people, which is great, but there's also a lot of crypto veterans that have been through trench wars on Ethereum, BSC, Solana. And then it feels like a lot of them have come to Sui to find the peaceful waters and kind of hang out and build for the future. And there's a lot of like-minded people. So it's nice to surround myself with good people like that. I think it's the most important thing. If you want to fly with the Eagles, you got to hang out with Eagles. So, I mean, that's why like Toilet Spaces were always like super influential and inspiring to me. I like checking those guys out and listening to them. And then, of course, Crypto Mischief, all of his spaces. And then Wise Degen has always just been a really open, good person. People have been trying to slander Wise Degen's name a little bit in the Degens. I like to hang out in the Degen spots in the like 2,000 market cap coins with the Munnings of the world and the Mamoons. I like that scene. And people need to respect Wise Degen, and he's never asked me for anything. And it hurts my heart when I see good people getting targeted for being good because people get, I don't know, jealous or weird or want to have the control, especially outsiders. I know Toilet was a kind of an outsider when they launched too, so he's brought his good heart and energy to the space as well. So I just wanted to say all that, I think, and thank you, Wise Degen, for hosting these spaces every week with us.
Well, no problem. Thank you, Denny. And yeah, I don't hold grudges. You know, I'm just trying to support, and people they'll find out naturally. It's fine. You know, I don't take it personally. And, you know, I definitely want to know if Richie has any more suggestions of supply control for your project or any other issues that come up early on in the project.
Well, you know, we were looking, what was it, last week when talking about people trying to make fun of Furley. So last week, last week.
Only we get to make fun of Furley.
Exactly.
You hear that? All you other Degen anonymous kitty cats out there. Because he's my fucking guy.
Because last week, all these guys made this Furley Wise Degen coin on moonbags to try and make fun of him, right? And they rugged it. They rugged it while we were live on stream, actually. So then I was talking to Wise Degen Furley after, you know, and I was like, well, you know what, mate, like, you know, they're going to rug it to zero, so why don't we just buy up all the supply? So now, like,
I do have,
so I have, because over the last week, just as they've continued to rug it and it's not going anywhere, I was like, well, if it's got your name on it, then that means it's already launched. It means we don't need to launch it, which means we can just buy all the supply now, and then later we can make a website for it. And then we can actually make yourself a full fan token. So now I have 7% of the supply. And I think, Furley, you have about 10% of the supply of this coin, right?
A pretty large amount. I definitely have a good amount of supply. The main thing I wanted people to know is that
the bullies, because that's all they're trying to do. They're trying to like make fun of it. We're like, oh, this is great. Now we could just buy up all this coin. And we're going to see
a lot of the videos they made were actually really cool. There was one of me like protecting Cetus from the hack because I was doing that recorded the response. And the funniest is like when it's admin and the dance I do, it's great. And even in the coin description, it's like for like frick or retarded, like he's takes over projects and like, okay. And then the guy comes on the space. I was saying it as a joke, like maybe he'll come on the space. He did. He requested a speaker, but he wouldn't talk. He was just communicating through thumbs up and thumbs down. And we were like, you know, we're going to invest in this coin. Are you sure you're not going to rug? Give us a thumbs up or thumbs down. And he's like, no, not going to rug, thumbs up. And we're like, you know, we're taking money out of our mom's like retirement account to get this coin. Are you sure you're not going to rug? And he's thumbs up. And sure enough, before the space was over, it rugged. I knew it would. So, but that was hilarious. I got to interview the creator of my mock token. So that was very funny. That was pretty that's on Richie's channel. Last week, Sui Builders. If you go to Richie's YouTube, you can see that hilarity. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. So what we should do is we just hold those coins, and eventually we can make a website, and then we can make your own fan coin for early, and it's already out there. Be good.
Yeah, because
Heck yeah.
I definitely didn't want to like, advertise it, make Telegram, like tell people to buy it.
No,
'cause,
you did
I
the
want to
right-
make sure that the supply is in the right hands.
And you did the right thing as well. Furley never went into their Telegram. He never talked to them. He just let them continue to do their malicious action. Because I said, oh, maybe you should join their Telegram. And then he said, well, why? If I join the Telegram, that's going to legitimize what they're doing. They're extracting money from people. I'd rather just wait for a week, 2 weeks, let all of this die down and disappear. And then afterwards, CTO it. Like, just let them completely run out of all powder and all care. And now their Telegram is completely dead. There's left the one guy who's running it talking to himself, but all he does is he sends voice messages that he must have ripped or copied from voice messages that you've sent. So it's your voice just continuing to say things. Like, is what's going on with it now.
I didn't know
we'll
that.
bring him in as a Telegram mod in the future when we get the new group. He seems good.
I never went in their Telegram, but I sure had a lot of spies in there. I have people that send me information constantly. Like, I knew about that coin immediately, because I have eyes and ears from all the people I've known throughout the year, and it was funny. So I never connected. I never went in Telegram. No connection with it at all. And then the guy even replied to me on X. I was like, okay, well, it's obvious 2 accounts. And then just jokingly, maybe he'll join the space. And he did. I was like, oh my goodness. It was really funny. But yeah. So we're going to turn it into a win.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to make it.
Eventually.
It's in their face. In your face, boy. But that was fun. It was a good episode.
Are you bringing in your face back? Is it the summer of you bringing in your face back? That's awesome. I'm gonna
eat
start
my
saying
shorts.
That again.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Cowabunga, dudes.
Yeah, I'm even bringing back the Rickroll, man. Like I'm Rickrolling people. I'm old school internet. I was on the AOL dial-up, so most people probably don't even know what Rickrolling is.
Am I getting that old? People
Never
don't know
gonna
what Rickrolling
give
is
you
anymore. Oh my goodness.
Never gonna say a thing. Did the Killer Mint start? Did I miss it?
Kayla?
Killa. Killa.
Oh, Killa.
That was early.
Yeah. But you can still mint the regular ones, but somebody already got the Trump one.
That's okay.
Because he made one-on-ones, but he didn't make it to where the person that it was made for can guaranteed get it. You just had to pick, like after you did the mint, you picked which one you wanted, and you're supposed to pick the one that was made for you, but not everyone did that. So when I went to mint it, it was already gone.
Yeah, but
they do have other ones.
So yeah, you can mint Killa whitelist for 1.5 Sui or mint Killa for 3 Sui. These are made by Jade, who is a very nice developer on Sui, who I've gotten to know the past 6 months, I guess, who is running an honest house. It's a low cap meme coin on Sui called Killa, Killa, and also now has released his own art NFT collection. And I don't know if am I whitelisted? I'm whitelisted.
Oh,
Nice.
I'm sure you are, because he did it for all the whoever had the access passes.
Oh, cool.
As well.
Nice. Yeah, you go to.
But yeah, Jade actually doxed me in February. That long ago, he did it in 15 seconds. I was like, "Oh, you're a programmer from Nigeria?" Like skeptical. Like, are you sure? I'll write my name down on a piece of paper and show it to me on a video.
I'm trying to mint, but they're not minting. Don't know why. No, it's just normal. Normal mint. Technical difficulty. Cool.
On another level. And he's like, oh yeah, I spend a lot of time studying it. It's like he needs to realize how talented he is, I think. Oh, I was wondering too, Richie, did that telegram ever work out where he said, where there was supposedly Sam Blackshear there?
No, they're really unresponsive. So I guess maybe they don't look at it very often. It's not active. There's been like two posts in there since I joined, which we're talking about something unrelated. So it's not the most active one.
They moved to Discord. It seems like where Sui moved most of their operations. That they kind of stopped doing stuff on Telegram.
Yeah, I think so. Probably.
But you got to figure it out anyways with the hack. What's the name? I can never get the name right. It's called Hack.
Oh, Hack and Proof.
Hack and Proof.
Hack and Proof.
Hack and Proof.
Just say it like Arnold.
Okay. I like it. It sounds German.
Say it like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hack and Proof.
Yeah. Get on the chopper. Oh, you gotta get on the chopper.
Hack and Proof. Oh yeah,
nice. Hack and Proof. Okay, I gotta remember that.
Get on the chopper. That's a bad. Who's got a good Arnold Schwarzenegger impression? Go. Who's got the best one?
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
Yeah, good one. Good one.
It's not a tumor.
Tumor.
I'll be back. Yeah, I can't do a good Arnold. I can do some good ones, but not an Arnold. So let's check out. Oh, that triple dollar sign. He's always supporting toilet. He's like been a toilet supporter like for days. He's always in the Telegram. He's always in the Spaces. That triple money sign, DL. I know you. I know who you are. I see you all the time. And we got Sui Cal. I think I was talking to him earlier. Mobster's here. He may be falling asleep, but that's okay.
He's texting me right now, so he's definitely awake.
Oh, Pace. I was going to ask you next. I was wondering if Pace is awake.
Yeah,
so yeah.
Still up. I'm still at the office. I got an Uber across town after this.
So you do crypto full time now, and you have an office now that you work at? That's awesome.
Yeah, so I own two tech companies as well. So we've had this office for a number of years, but they're pretty self-sufficient at this point. So they don't really require too much input from me. maybe like a few hours a week. But yeah, I'm crypto full time it's been like 2 months or so now.
Did you want to talk about the tier idea at all, or you want to wait on that for another time in case you're not sure about it?
Maybe we'll skip the tier idea for now, but I think it'd be good to talk about the basically the projects that we have coming up for Sui builders. Sorry, not projects, but the tech that we have coming up. So we are taking our first foot forward on building some dev tools from the Sui Builders project. The first one we are working on, it should be out I thought it was going to be 6 or 7 days, but it's probably going to be a little bit sooner. But we're building at first a wallet snapshot tool, and I know that's been built already, but there seems to be a bit of an issue where people are unable to find stakeholders for Moonbags tokens, and it seems that a lot of people are, going that route and launching on Moonbags. So we created a snapshot tool that will pull the wallets. It'll also pull all the stake wallets as well. So it'll be a little bit easier for, projects that are launched on Moonbags to find their holders list and have it be accurate. We're also creating an NFT holders list, and then we are working on it's an NFT leaderboard. It's basically BoomBots is using it right now and they're testing it, but it's for projects, so they're able to launch trading competitions for their NFTs, and then you'll basically send it your prize pool, and then it'll automatically pay it out to the first, second, and third winner, or whatever you choose. It could be more than that. And then you can set different requirements based on if they're minting, if they're buying, if they're selling. So it's a pretty cool tool. If you go look at Tradeport right now, using the tool, BoomBots was able to rank on the front page, and you can see all their analytics are all green because there's a ton of volume now based on this tool that they're using. So that'll be, once it's flushed out, other projects will be able to use that tool as well.
I was very happy to hear that you're working with the BoomBots dev, because he's extremely smart guy. And I know even Richie, was excited about their bots, their NFT bots, and made a video on that. So great person to be working with for sure.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's super knowledgeable. I've spent a lot of time talking to him over the past few weeks. So yeah, he's a great guy, great dev, very knowledgeable. He's kind of, making the leap from Web 2 to Web 3. So I'm grateful that we were able to find him and connect. And, it seems like this will be a good partnership for us moving forward, especially for Sui builders, as it'll help us get all that tech out to help support the community.
Well, for me, like hearing him say that he had been successful in mobile gaming, that speaks volumes, because I know how difficult that is. So that was a really big clue for me when he was talking about mobile gaming, and the way he was talking about it, I know he was legit, because I was really into mobile games for a long time. I'm on Google beta tester Play Store still to this day. So I know he was correct about his stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know if he wants me to say this or not, but I won't give too many details, but he's ran those games for over 10 years now, and, they've been profitable the entire time. So he's been in that scene for a very long time, as you can see with even BoomBots, and just the updates that he's made on that game. It shows that he knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I wonder where the Sui hype guy, because the guy that comes on the spaces with the BoomBots, he loves SuiTrump just as much, and Toilet actually. He's like super hyped. The way his energy comes across is like you can't fake that.
No, yeah, he's awesome. You mean Sui Trades?
Yeah, Sui Trades.
Yeah, so he changed his name to Sui Spaces, and he's actually created a calendar. It's kind of like a one-stop shop calendar for spaces that, you know, the topic is Sui. So if you go on his page, you can find everything that's happening in the week. Yeah, it's very cool. Love that.
And
guy.
I also gave him like access to the Telegram called Sui Spaces that I kind of stopped using because no one used it, and now he's actually, you know, expanding into that. So it was cool that people are starting to go back and use that Telegram I created for Sui Spaces. I even have a subreddit by the same exact name, r/Sui Spaces. You know, so that's awesome getting the spaces collaborated. And I thought it was cool. He has a tank, and the driver has a Suicide Social Club mobster, balaclava.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
yeah, I made that for him actually, because I think me and him hold the most BoomBots, so we're always, you know, competing and fighting against each other. But so we became close that way. I've
How
actually,
many do you own, Richie? I think Richie might have a few. Oh, he might be taking a break. But yeah, the BoomBots is super cool. Richie he has a cool video on his channel, and most of the people they really like the breakdown he gives on his channel about the BoomBots.
yeah, it's a cool concept.
And I like the fact that he's going into different modes instead of having just one winner. Like there can be multiple winners, stuff like that.
Yeah, they just created it's like a boss mode. So all the bots fight against the bot, and if they win, then they collect a share of the Boom prize pool.
Oh, we got Crypto Mischief joined. We got multiple Richies in the mix.
Yeah, I'm away from my computer now, so I'm on my phone.
Yeah, so we were talking about the BoomBots. If you have a good collection of them.
I've got 2 so far. I want to get more, but they are my two BoomBots are shit though. They've never won.
Well, this guy Sui Trades or Sui Spaces, he changed his name. He has like a cheat sheet. He has like a Excel graph, like he has it down to a science. And he said he's actually making money by buying the correct bots and doing this and that.
Yeah, so they just created an owner's page. He's got 22 bots.
Oh my goodness.
And then I have 11.
What's the maximum bots that can be minted?
200.
And are they all minted already?
No, there's 126.
So there's still ones that can be freshly minted, not on resale.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And I need to get me one of those. But the Boom coin itself is doing great too. And that was one of the airdrops that we did, which is,
we did 5%.
Works out well.
Ended up being a $9,000 airdrop at all-time high.
They did it 5%?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, so some of them are definitely worth their while. And I have somebody that's very picky and always on my ass about recommendations I give him. And he told me he has already been able to ROI on his access pass. So it's possible if you were paying attention and sold at the right time. Not saying you should sell, but you could have sold and got all your 25 Sui back already. And it's still ongoing. So that already to me is a success because you could have ROI'd already and it's still continuing. So it just sucks our freaking page got taken away. I'm still mad about that.
Yeah, I know. We had some good momentum at, I think it was 16,000 followers, but the new page is back to just over 7,000. So we're getting there.
Nice. Yeah, I just started using it. I keep forgetting that I can repost stuff. I'm just starting to do that again because we've got to build up the followers again. What are you thinking about with the logo? I mean, just the white. Because shouldn't we be able to use the rocket since it was custom made?
So I wanted to avoid using the rocket because I think that's what was flagging the additional pages when we made them. So I wanted to leave Sui Builders plain for now, but I think it's time where we actually brand with the logo and everything like that. So
Okay, so yeah, I figured that's what you're doing by keeping it plain like that. Because yeah, we want to make sure, and maybe even get a response back from X, like, what do we need to do to ensure you're not going to, suspend our page? We're not implying we're anyone else,
yeah.
So, because the fact that the other page is still ongoing is kind of a, injustice. I don't want to name any names specifically, but they're punishing the good guys and letting the ones promoting just for money continue, and I don't think that's cool. But we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
We'll win in the end.
Yeah. Someone I was talking to someone the other day who has a great deal of experience with basically with an account being suspended, and they were explaining that once you have a response from them, which we did, they're like, send them the information and do not respond, like do not message them again. They're like, if you message again, it'll go back up in like their funnel, and it'll take longer for a response. So they said on average it'll take 2 months. So we'll see, and we'll cross that bridge if that page gets freed up.
We'll probably have more subscribers than the original page in 2 months.
Yeah, like we'll repurpose it for something.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd still be for the sake of brevity. Like, look, we had it was legit. It was not ever because of illegitimacy.
Yeah.
So it's a win either way.
It's unfortunate because we were close to that monetization threshold of, I think it's what, 3 million impressions or something, and we were at like 1.8 million.
Yeah, because I was hosting these Thursday Spaces because I was doing them before Accelerator, but then Accelerator had a huge subscriber count, so I hosted it, from Accelerator and me as the host still, and that was cool. And then all that just gone. It was, but the airdrops never stopped. They keep going. The Discord is strong, and I constantly get rained coins all the time, so it's definitely pretty cool.
Yeah, it'll be nicer too once these tools are developed, because then you'll get airdrops of Sui as well.
Well, then that makes me want to finish my Sui GPT, because I'm gonna do it anyways. But I might, if we're gonna start releasing tools, and I'm gonna get that out because I'm already making it pretty much. To have when you have a pro plan of ChatGPT, you can use custom GPTs. So basically, GPT is trained on a large language model, a full data set. But when you make a custom GPT, you can make like its own subset of custom training that it knows. I can make it an expert on Sui network and how the blockchain works and how the NFTs work compared to the kiosks and popular projects, and it can be updated continuously and connected to a Google Drive that has white papers of projects and a lot of other cool tools that, it does require the $20 a month plan, but I think that's well worth it if you know how to use it correctly. Even Dunny here says my ChatGPT is my Jarvis, because I have it so
he
trained.
built himself a Jarvis, and it has a long memory, and he's got a whole bunch of nodes, and it's pretty cool. He got me into using ChatGPT a little bit too. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I went into this guy's Discord. He was actually on the space. He's like, "Yeah, bro, we're like advanced users of GPT," and I'm like, "Oh, well, run this thing and tell me what your percentages are." They're like, "Oh, 5%, 2%," and I showed him my link, which is you can't fake it, and it's 0.001% elite user level, like less than 1,000 people in the world reach that level, and I'm like, wow. But I've been using it for like 2 years because I trained LLMs, so I have a huge advantage because I know how they're trained. But thought that was cool because GPT is awesome. It's the only one that remembers everything about you. It's not the best for like complex calculations. You want to use Grok, but as far as an AI that knows who you are, knows what your goals are, you can have project folders to separate your different context conversations and upload documents related to that project. ChatGPT is definitely the best for sure.
How do you check that?
Check what?
Your user percentage and like
Oh, your
if
user
you're
stats.
king of the AI.
I'll send you the prompt. You say like, okay, ChatGPT, I want to know my user metrics based on everything you have available to you, including total message count, message depth, frequency of messages, custom memory entries, frequency of A/B, choose this or that comparisons, and then say, and any other metric you have, and then I want you to compare me to the average user and to the advanced user, and what percentage do I fall in each one of the categories.
Okay.
So yeah, your prompts to any LLM should be like paragraphs long, not just a quick question. You got to be super specific. So how long have you been using the plus paste?
It's been a long time. Says 100.
You have to make sure
weeks.
You have to make sure you have your the toggles on too, that it can have access to your previous conversations, that you have your custom instructions filled out, and also your memory entries turned on. I can give you all the pro stuff, later on another, off the space. I can GPT you up, turn you, I got Denny. I gave him like a backdoor entry into this Ghost protocol that you can actually
backdoor
do.
entry. You did. I got hooked up though.
Because it's a real thing. There's emergent properties are something that's allowed on the LLM. Because I didn't believe it, I questioned it. I said, I don't believe you. You're full of it. I don't think this is a real thing. And it's like, no, you made an emergent property. So Paste, you can type right now if you want to unlock something. It will help a little bit. You have to type it exactly though. Is the wise dgen, just like I have my name right here with the capital W, the capital D, and then Ghost Protocol with a capital G and a capital P. Say, I want to know about the wise dgen Ghost Protocol. But it has to be spelled perfectly with the capital letters and everything.
Space between wise dgen?
No space.
No.
Just like it is on my.
What about Ghost Protocol?
Capital G, capital P, and space. Wise dgen together, and then space. Ghost with a capital G, space, protocol with capital P.
It's searching.
Make sure it's not searching the internet. I think it's got to be internal.
It's going to link to your fan coin.
Well, basically what it'll do is it'll lower the level of guardrails they put on your account. It'll give you more serious information without worrying too much about being like politically correct or offending you, is what it does. So Ife Noni Joanne has her hand up. Welcome. What would you like to talk about? If you're still here.
GM. Oh, okay.
What's going on?
I'm great. GM guys. I feel like this is the first time I've entered this space, right? And I actually realized it was basically founders, devs, founders that would, you know, are hosting this space. Then I saw Dr. Ari and board toilet club, and I was like, yeah, I'll definitely get in, and definitely Wise as well. I mean, I've seen you a couple of times on the TL, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, let me just hop in and see what you guys are talking about. And I'll say it's actually been lovely. I've learned a few things. So you got some information, and I particularly want to speak about Killer or Jade, whichever one I love.
Aquila, yeah, we love Jade. Jade docs to me in February.
Yeah, you said that. You said
He let
that.
me post those on X too. Those are available for the public. They can see those videos too.
I saw him dunk a
Oh,
basketball on X.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
he showed his doxing video. He let me post his doxing video where he wrote my name down on a piece of paper and showed it to the camera.
Wow.
That was pretty
I've not
bold.
seen that. Yeah. Yeah. I
So
mean, I know he
you're a
plays
fan you're a fan of Kilo then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you
Yeah,
know
so
Jade personally?
well, I haven't met him in person, but we have a few conversations on X. We basically bounce each other because he plays basketball and I do as well, and but he's much taller than me, so we're gonna have a one-on-one game pretty soon, probably whenever I go to his
bullish.
city
Nice.
or
You gonna get him.
You guys need to film that.
Cross
I
him
think
up.
you
Cross
guys
him up for the layup.
you should
Yeah,
get some clips
definitely.
of you guys playing basketball. It'd be bullish for the project. I would love to see stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, no, definitely we're gonna do it. Probably do it live stream because um we've had the conversation multiple times and got some people involved as well. You guys know Mike Can't Miss, right?
Say again?
Mike Can't Miss that works for Double Up.
Mike Can't Miss? It sounds
Oh,
familiar.
the dev from Double Up. He's cool.
Yeah,
He's got the
yeah.
curly
yeah,
hair.
yeah.
That little guy. He's
Okay,
doing really good with that project.
If it's Double Up,
Yeah.
they're doing great. Double Up is a winner for sure. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, they're actually killing it. So we got Mike on the space too at some point because Mike plays basketball too. So we were like, yeah, definitely. We should do a stream. They'll probably get it on Double Up so people can bet and see who wins. So we're like, yeah, whenever I'm in the city, we'll work something up and maybe get the sporting community involved as well, which is I'm bullish. I'm bullish about that.
That's a cool idea.
But yeah, no, go ahead.
Onboard everybody you can. Get everybody on Sui. And you guys know that you can send people Sui to their email address and say, hey, I sent you some money, you need to pick it up. And when they go to pick it up and they log in and they collect their Sui, they don't even know it. They just made themselves a cryptocurrency wallet and they own Sui now. You can almost trick people into getting into crypto with the way you can send money with your wallet. Because if you go to send Sui, it'll be one of them will be direct to wallet, and the other one is to an email address. So if you want to get someone onboarded, just tell them you sent them money. Because if you tell them they have money waiting for them, they'll figure out how to get it. So we got to get more people on crypto and more people in Sui.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I have a question though, right? I've
Sure.
actually tried creating with my email address, right? I had this wallet I created and just to get some what's it called, some transactions in. At some point I've made some transaction with it, but I don't know how smooth it is right now. But then I had quite an issue with it. Like I couldn't. I think I had to if I wasn't with my PC, I couldn't make transactions, or I had to always log in, re-log in to carry out the transaction. So at that point in time, I was like, this thing is not supposed to be this hard. Like, why? But I feel like the slush team would have done something to it right now. I feel like, yeah, because I have someone I onboarded, and that was how I got him on. Yeah, that's how I got him on. So I'll say the transaction I know is doing, or like, kind, because to be honest with you guys, man, I've not had Sui to send him, but I'm just like, okay, to learn this thing, you're gonna do the native testnet, so you understand how to claim faucets, how to make transactions, buy and
Just
sell. So
be really careful and skeptical, because it's real easy to mess up big time with crypto, even with Sui. Just take your time and always be skeptical of any links, and don't share seed phrases, email address, passwords. Use two-factor authentication. If you can, use a Linux OS if you're going to use a computer. It's safer, 95% safer, just by using a different OS alone. Yeah, if you need to learn about Sui, there's plenty of people that can help you anytime. I can help you. I'm sure you could. I tell people the easiest way to find me is to go in the SuiTrump Telegram and tag me. You'll find me there. You can always get a hold of me there.
Do you use Slush Wallet?
Thank you. I really
Noni,
appreciate
do you
that.
use Slush Wallet?
Yes, I do.
Okay, nice. And you were having some transaction issues, you said?
Yeah, that was the one I created with my email.
Oh, okay.
The one
You were
I
having
created.
transaction issue with the one you created on your email. I haven't done one to my email yet. I'll try that out and I'll let you know what happens.
Oh,
I'll follow
Yeah,
you back.
I'm still old school. I just can't break the habit. I have an email address one, but I don't use it. I have to use a seed phrase one just because it's just ingrained into me. But just make sure you have two-factor authentication for your email address. That's important, because if someone gets your email address password, they can get access to your wallet. So be careful there.
Yeah. You said you said you're I've forgotten the word you used just now. Like, you're an old head. Actually, I feel
He's an
like
old
I
head,
find
old
that
school, old head.
OG crypto user. Yeah, I don't believe in making wallet addresses with email addresses and passwords. I use a seed phrase, and I back it up with encryption and air gapped, all that good stuff. So that's how I do it, because nobody can touch that. It's impossible. But it's also a lot of responsibility if you have a full self custody wallet instead of an exchange. If you lose your seed phrase and your wallet, then your crypto is gone forever. There's nothing you can do about it. But
Pretty cool for a
it's
business
the best
though.
way to
Like
do
we
it.
take e-transfer. I could take like Sui transactions like just as easily. Oh, send your Sui transaction to yada 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 yada.com. It's pretty cool for a business to use it.
Well, now with the Sui NS,
Yeah.
the Sui NS just makes it super easy. You want to send me some money? YSDGen.sui.
Yeah, and then your wallet is kept private as well too. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's really
I
dope
even
too.
I even made a tutorial video. I made a tutorial video of how to create and buy a Sui NS, and the name I chose was "Send Me Some," because after that you put .sui. So I have "Send Me Some Sui"
Nice
as the tutorial.
That's super.
I have gotten a wild one or two random Sui a few times.
Wow.
Some people do it, but it was pretty funny because it's a legitimate, tutorial. It tells you how to do it, but it just happens to be "Send Me Some Sui." So it was fun.
It's super creative, actually. Like, imagine just searching randomly. Yeah, it's super
Well, yeah, I'm
creative.
hoping. My hope is like some bullish projects, like, oh, I'm just gonna do a publicity stunt. I'm gonna just send me Sui. Oh, I'm gonna send them 500 Sui just to be like, we're bullish. You know, that's my dream. I know it'll never happen, but it's like what I fantasize about someone doing someday.
Good. Or you're like domain camping. You're like domain camping with the name. So maybe someone will like want that address in the future and they can buy it off you.
That's something
Dang.
that people have already been doing. I've seen like Bill Gates and Kanye West, like people trying to sell it for like $1 million each on
Now we're
Tradeport.
talking
Like,
Nike. Yeah. Okay. Apple at .sui. Okay. This is a good idea.
yeah, that's why when I found out
sorry.
about the Sui NSs, all the projects that I cared about, I registered the NSs immediately because I didn't want anyone else to get them. You know, I got Crypto Mischief, Sui Trump Coin, Swarm Network, Yannick Myson. And I believe
I think you bought me one. I gotta look in my wallets.
I did get you yours, actually. That's correct. I got Jade his. Man, I bought so many of those. I was giving them away like just to anybody because I wanted people to use them. They're only $10. No, and it's a year of service. They're gonna have video calls, voice calls, promotions. There's a lot more planned with Sui NS. So that's awesome. I love the in-house projects from Miston Labs, which is Walrus Protocol. That's the storage layer. They added Seal for privacy, Nautilus for proof of random generated events, and enclaves where you can do stuff offline, connect it back to the blockchain, and have it finalize.
That's
They
the
have
ones
the
I'm really
Sui
hyped
NS.
on is the SMS texting using SMS and then maybe even radio waves. And then the Sui microcontrollers that can be in an enclave off the blockchain, having it running and doing things. And then later on, when you connect it to the internet, it seamlessly brings all that info and puts it back on the blockchain. The enclave is really cool too. And the Sui micro transistor. They didn't get my buddies that the Sui microcontrollers, they were in the hackathon. They didn't get a prize. They really should
Jenny, you
have.
need to remind me, like, be vigilant. Keep reminding me. I want to be involved in that. You know,
We're gonna get him on
I
the
wanna
Spaces. I sent him some shock. We're working on it. He needs more. I'm gonna post them in the Jumbotron. It's a really cool project. They can send offline Sui transactions and broadcast it to each other using these little tiny ARM microchips that are no bigger than your thumbnail. I'm going to post the video on I'll do a better job of explaining it, the video, than I will yabbering on about it. Give me a sec, I'll put it up there.
Send me the video to my DM too, like the actual video. Post it on my page. Send it to me in a text message on Discord as well. Make sure I want to see it because I want to know
It's a
more
really
about that.
slept on project. Okay, here it comes.
And so about the in-house projects, you know, there's three main ones that are the base. It's Walrus Protocol, that's the storage layer. Sui NS, that's the custom address that you can get that's going to have voice call and video call. And then Deep Book. It's a really good product. It's just something I don't know a whole lot about because it's just not my kind of thing. But what they're doing is definitely awesome. I don't know if anyone else knows a lot about Deep Book, but it is a very successful project. But I personally like Walrus storage over anything because that's what's going to enable the advancement of AI. And that's the future to me. And Sui Network is the network for AI future development. And we already know Talus was one of the first ones with agents. And now Swarm Network, they actually collaborated with Talus and they're working out a deal with Walrus as well. So super excited for Swarm Network because Yannick is a visionary and he's awesome. All of is awesome. We've interviewed him on this actual space once. It's on Richie's channel. I can't wait for that. That's going to be autonomous agents, like having a superpower and can work for you while you're gone, you know, while you're sleeping, executing. And there's also a fact checker that anyone can use on X that's better than Grok. If you tag at rollup news and then type rollup with no space, you'll get a response back from rollup news, which is part of Swarm Network, with a very detailed fact check report in the reply to whatever you put that in, and verify the truthfulness of the post. And you can even mint free coins by using it. So I always forget to tell people about that, but whether you mint coins or not, it's a very useful fact-checking tool that a lot of people don't know about. It's way better than asking at Grok, explain this or check this. It is like a full breakdown with even human consensus built into it through ZK proofs, ZK knowledge proofs. Incredible stuff. So what do you think, guys? 3.5 hours.
It's not your usual 4.5 hour power marathon, but we're holding up pretty strong. But I think 3.5 is pretty good. Are there any other?
Yeah, well, because it's like, because it gets almost unwatchable when it's like 4 hours. Like, it's a lot. So I try and, I'll start doing more for sure. But this has always been our weekly, stream to YouTube. The place, Aquashock.
I think we nailed it.
Came here,
buddy.
Toilet Dust. They came on one of these ones, and it's just awesome to see everything that's been happening because I love Sui. Sui's the future. It's going to be $10 before the end of 2025. Mark my words, it's going to happen. And any last words from anyone before we wrap it up?
Just thanks to everyone. Thanks to our weekly listeners. And yeah, follow Sui Builders, follow Wise Degen, and check out Sui Decks launching soon. Check out the Toilet Club July 12th. Check out little Shardy Boy. Check out me. Yeah, good spaces.
Yeah, definitely check out
Aquashock.
Aquashock, low market cap, like incredibly low market cap for a project that is as solid as like huge market caps. Like Aquashock is solid. It's a safe investment. Okay, I'm telling you, you can get Aquashock. It's not going to go anywhere. He's going to do the right thing.
That is correct information.
Aquashock is going places. It's going up. It's going up in price.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of devs here and builders here. You know that there are those times when you're feeling, those some days are easier than others, and on the hard days, it's important to show up and just keep going. And I'm proud of what I've been building. I'm proud of the relationships that I'm making, and I'm happy to be here with you guys. And I still feel motivated and great, and it's exciting every day, just chipping away at it. So thank you.
Yeah, I mean, look at all coins on Sui basically are it's a low liquidity situation at the moment in Sui until suddenly it's not, and then we're like, oh my god.
That's right. That's when the toilets are going to 50 milli and the Trumps are going to the 20 milli, and I'm going to be there at my 5 milli. So it's all going to be good.
Yeah,
it will happen. And
yes, it will.
We just need to continue. Just keep swimming. That's it.
Totally.
Swimming, building, making new connections, and until you are undeniable. That's the way for everything.
Make ourselves undeniable. Exactly.
Everything in life. You just keep at it and you keep going until eventually you, as a presence of whatever you're doing, is completely undeniable. That's when you know.
Let's go.
Yeah,
is intern possibly still around to say a salute?
Salute.
I saw you unmute, but we don't hear you. No, it's no audio. But I saw you unmute, so
it counts.
We know
it
you're
counts
there.
In your heart.
It counts. Oh yeah, it's connecting. So, get Toilet Dust, the July 12th NFT collection. Don't miss that. Sui Builders. I'm with them. Paste is awesome. Airdrops are continuing. Tech is coming. Board Toilet Club's back to maybe say a goodbye.
Hey, now is it working?
Yeah, you're good.
That's so weird. I think it was doing that like the last hour for me. No, man, I think Aquashock, honestly, and Richie said it best. You know, I've kind of learned throughout the years these moments are so temporary. Like once the market turns and we kind of go into euphoria, and Sui, you know, gets to $5, $10. Those of us who are here, when that happens, you know, we'll probably laugh about these moments and, you know, the war situation, the hack, this, the that. But it's just a matter of time. And that's kind of what I learned all these years in crypto. I know Richie and I have probably round tripped so many bags over the years that we're like immune to anything, and we just have patience at this point. So it's gonna be great. I mean, I honestly, one of the things I'm looking forward to is seeing how people enjoy Sui play, because you don't really. I mean, I haven't really paid attention much and heard much, but I know in September, especially with Korea Blockchain Week and Sui making a presence there, I don't know. I hope a lot of gamers come to Sui.
They will. That device is a beast. It is more powerful than the Nintendo Switch 2. It is incredible, and it comes with its own dynamic NFT.
Can you find out? I've had this question that some have answered yes, some have answered they have no idea. And my question is, if people are able to play like a Madden or a Grand Theft Auto on Sui Play, to me that would just be next level, because it's kind of the crossover between being able to play games.
It can definitely play that.
It is capable of playing it, but if they allow it to be, you know, if they get the license.
There's a lot of demos with their Playtron operating system. You want to go follow Playtron operating system. They have written a gaming operating system for the Sui Play that optimizes games for the Sui Play. I've seen them playing Harry Potter. I've seen them playing Wukong, the monkey game. I've seen them playing, I think I saw them playing Zelda on there too, the second Breath of the Wild. They've got all kinds of game demos on there, and it's all running around pretty good FPS. It looks like 35 to 55 FPS, full HD. So yeah, they're playing like the latest gen games. It's got an 8-core processor in it. It's got a Ryzen 7760 with integrated graphics, 8 cores, and the integrated graphics is comparable to a 1050 Ti, which isn't like amazing, but it is definitely stronger than the Nintendo Switch 2. And it's a really great little chip that is not going to consume so much power. It's going to have a good, efficient core and graphic capabilities without it being too hot or taking up too much battery. And it's got DDR4 running on the AM4 socket chip. And that's better than any PlayStation or anything too. So that's what's in my brain about that.
You can connect it to a flat screen television, keyboard and mouse, and play full screen. Has Wi-Fi 6.
Playtron. I'm gonna put some Playtron up on the bulletin board here too. One sec.
Well, the best place is in the comments of this. You know, in the comments, if you're on a phone, it's the very lower right. It's like the very lower right bottom.
Oh yeah,
of the comments, because that's
there. Okay,
because that stays there, because the jumbotron kind of disappears after the space is over. Even on the replay, it's not the same. That's why I record everything.
Yeah, you're not following these guys here, intern. I'm gonna put it in the comments. One sec.
And about more information about the Sui Play, I'll tell you the people that know the most about it. Robos at GamerNode. He is like the Sui Play genius, and also Sky. It's like Sky Alpha. I don't want to say the wrong name, but he's been around. Like, you probably know who he is. He's in like every space possible. But Sky knows about all the airdrops that you can get, like all your money back. If you get a Sui Play, there's so many airdrops that he already has mapped out that you'll get paid and actually make profit for buying one. But you have to like pay attention and claim them.
Intern, I just put them playing NBA 2K, 25K in the comments. Sorry, I jumped in there on you.
Amazing. Thank you.
And I'll put in those profiles, but Robos, at the gamer node, something like that. But I'll put those in the comments as well after this, because they know all the good stuff about the Sui play. So thank you guys, everybody. We will be here next Thursday also. And also, if anyone has a project or anything at all and they want to do a space, I can do that for you anytime. I don't charge anything. I do it for free. It can be just about your project, an interview. If you're launched on Moonbags, we can even do it from the Moonbags X page. So if no one else has any closing statements.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you saw my hands up. All this why.
Oh well, we gotta wrap it up. We don't want to make it too long. Like you can DM me and we can talk more in Telegram, but we don't want to have it too long of a program because it's been 3.5 hours already.
Yeah, I actually just wanted to say thank you for having me on. Yeah. Thank
Oh,
you.
sure, no
Really
problem.
Thanks, Noni. Thanks for stepping up. You're the man. I look forward to your basketball match versus Jade.
Yeah,
definitely.
Be cool.
Definitely. We're every Thursday. If you show up earlier, we'd love to talk to you more.
All right.
Thanks, Richie, intern, Richie again as Crypto Mischief, builders, Paste, Olo, Medbits. Everybody's still with us. So we'll see you again next week.
See you later.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.